Welcome to FMK Anime. I'm your host, Meep, joined by my co-hosts, Makan and Delaron. Say hi.
Welcome.
That took me a second to understand what you said. Light. An old woman bumped into me in the store, spilled milk on me robes everywhere. Hi everyone. Light. Hi everyone. I am Dalaran Quest. You guys catching us live already know where to find me. And those of you in the YouTubes probably know where to find me already too, since my name is the same everywhere. You guys can find me on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter on Dalaron Quest. That's Dalaron Quest. Twitter is mostly nature, concept art, character art, and D&D, though I probably should start, getting into my craft beer hobby on Twitter as well. But I don't know, whatever. We'll see what happens. And, yeah. You guys can, catch me all over there. And this is a very weak intro, so I'm just gonna pass it on to Makan.
Hello, time for an even weaker intro. I really don't do anything on the internet. I just faff around and do whatever in my free time. Sometimes that include reposting about 50 images of possums in a single hour on Twitter.
It really was in a fucking single hour, wasn't it? Jesus Christ. Like, I was scrolling through Twitter, and I was like, okay, concept art, Nintendo, okay, Nintendo Direct, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Breath of the Possum, okay, Possum, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Possum, okay, and then, like, after, like, a few minutes, it just became all possums. All you.
So yes, if you're wanting to be surprise avalanched by possums at some point of your day, follow me at that underscore Viking on Twitter.
And Meep, where can they find you?
You could find me at Soul_King777, but if you are a minor or do not like booby, do not follow me. Do not look at my Twitter. I will take your legs and use them to build a mannequin.
Why can't people in America under 18 go on your Twitter, Meep?
Because there's boobies.
Oh. But boobies...
Like
boobies...
Yeah.
Just boobies?
Well, there might be some butts, too. You don't know.
maybe even some butt bees.
Anyway.
But yes, this is a show where each week we watch a list of anime. At the end of the week, we can cut some anime. Thanks again to TFS for allowing us to do this experience. But let's just jump right into it with the finale of Vivy, Fluorite Song, episode 13, which was named Fluorite Eyes Song.
Yeah, we got the title drop in the episode title.
Yeah! Vivy comes back and makes her way to the main stage, while Matsumoto and Toke storm the Ariashiki, better prepared this time. Vivy sings the program while Matsumoto uploads the virus to the archive, causing the AI to hear her singing. And as the AI shut down, so do Vivy, but Matsumoto preserves her body so he can recreate her, so people can hear her singing once more, and she can exist in the future which she fought so hard to save.
So that does beg the question. That does beg the question. Is, by the way, short hair Vivy, very cute. A+.
Kind of weird.
Long hair Vivy, short hair Vivy, both valid. But who is that? Is that Vivy? That Diva? Is that Vivy with two eyes?
It's something completely different because the way they were acting, they didn't remember anything.
Yeah, well, that's why Matsumoto... Okay, so the way I read into it is the reason why... Because Matsumoto, he's smart enough to know that that program would shut her down, too. So and because when that scene happened, I'm like, wait a minute, why is he preserving the body? Does he want to bury her? And then the after credit scene happened, like, oh, even if it's not the Vivy we know, he wants his friend to exist in the timeline that she fought so hard to save. It's technically someone completely different. It's on the same level of how Diva was rebooted and became Diva.
I like that take on it. That's a lot better. I felt like that didn't get touched upon enough in the episode. And I think saying that, I just realized that's pretty much my feelings about this entire finale episode.
I liked it because for me, because Vivi's story ended when she, because for me, Vivi's story ended when she sang the song and got not took apart, but shut down.
Hmm.
The ending credits, that was the end to Matsumoto's story. That was the way I took it, is because that was his character arc coming in full. Because him just having this care and dedication to his partner, his friend. I don't know, it was really sweet. I really liked it.
Mm. Also, you say Matsumoto was smart enough to preserve his body, her body, and part of her code, I guess. Apparently, he's strong enough to stop a fucking satellite from destroying part of a city.
Yep.
Yeah, that part was a bit weird, but at
What?
the same time, I just shrugged my shoulders and went, I mean, I've seen him do a lot. He probably had one of his cubes
Like,
preserved somewhere.
go ahead, Makan. You were saying?
Like it's been the entire time, Matsumoto is just the Deus Ex Machina. Whatever technologically advanced things needs to happen, he can do it for some reason.
A little bit. A
No
little
matter what
bit.
it is.
He was, and also, like, didn't the last episode, he's like, the archive is more advanced than me, and he's like, no, don't worry, I got this, I can do whatever I need to, like, I have this code that I figured out to stop the archive. When? How? What?
No, that
They're,
was the
like,
that was the virus. That was the virus
Yeah.
that Tokboy had.
yeah, but at the same time, it wasn't like, yeah, this is advanced for the time. It wasn't too advanced for him.
Huh?
I remember that being the comment, but I might be wrong.
No, because the comment Matsumoto made about that virus was that it was extremely advanced. The comment that Tokboy made about it during the Ophelia arc was that that half-baked cube wouldn't even be able to crack this if he was given 100 years or something along those
I
lines.
do remember Matsumoto saying, like, this technology is way advanced for its time period, and even makes me, like, he wasn't able to do it at, like, whatever fucking percentage he was. He had to be at 100%, which still didn't make sense, because part of him was with Vivy, so whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be 110%. You can't be 110%. Anyway, Matsumoto out here only using 90% of his brain.
I liked Matsumoto
It's only
using
10% of my power.
Like,
I
zoinks,
liked
Vivy! This is only 10% of my power! I don't do a
liked
good Shaggy
Matsumoto.
voice, especially laying down. Apologies, chat.
I liked Matsumoto using the explosion of the other Matsumotos to rocket himself to the top. That was cool.
To quote Helsing Abridged, fucking Matsumoto Cube suicide bombers. What a fun day.
He was just riding on top of one of them, and the explosions propelled him forward. That was a lot of fun.
Why were there more evil Why were there more, like, dark heart Matsumotos in this timeline? Where were all of those dark Matsumotos against Beth and Vivi before?
Because the archive is constantly monitoring all timelines. Which also I forgot I was actually going to bring this up. So I will admit I didn't understand what this meant in the previous episode, but they kind of cleared up in this one, but it could have been explained better in the previous episode. When the archive went, a part of me made this calculation. I didn't realize they literally meant a literal part of them. Maybe that's just a
No.
cultural divide thing where the words have more meaning, but
Me neither. In fact, I didn't understand that. I mean, I'm having a weird moment because part of my brain's like, yeah, no, of course that's what they meant, as if, like, I understood it the whole time. But there's another part of my brain that's like, oh shit, yeah, no, right. Because, like, I saw you're talking about, like, the little blue thing that came out of the archive, right?
yeah, which I am now. I think that might be a cultural divide thing where the words in Japanese might have more meaning than they do in English.
I mean, it's also a situation of fucking Funimation dub, right?
Yeah,
A part of me is quite. It's either mean spiritually or physically. It's not like it's up to how you take it.
I think it's, and I don't mean this, at least, I don't mean this to be mean, neither to you, me, or the show, but I feel like it's like a useless realization. Not for you, for me. Where I think what I'm experiencing is just an empty realization where it's like, Oh yeah, no. Like a literal part of the archive was the one who like calculated and deviated from the code. That's cool when it's put into that way.
I mean,
But in the
right, but
show,
it
what the
really
fuck
doesn't
does it
change
matter?
anything. It
Yeah,
really doesn't change
exactly.
anything.
Yeah, it's
which
like
is
cool.
which is
Okay.
why which is why I think we were supposed to get like I think we were supposed to understand that last episode, but the language barrier might be into play there. I'm curious to see how they handle that in the English dub because they might clear it up a little bit in the dub.
Yeah, as far as like, you're going.
I was gonna say because Vivy says it like we knew that the whole time. That's why I'm like, oh, is that what we were supposed to get last episode?
Mm,
Like, I still
I
didn't
don't
get
know.
what, like, it was a physical part because I don't see what the fuck you were even meaning because I don't remember seeing any, like, blue part or whatever.
Going back to the satellite moment, why the fuck did that satellite fall? They stopped it in time.
And
I
I
think
don't
it was
know.
because it was close. It was the closest to orbit, and they were getting ready to fall.
Well, I mean, easy explanation. Show wanted extra drama.
I'm with McCon on that one because they stopped it in
That's
time.
no other explanation.
Yeah, they stopped in time in the original timeline, or I guess in the last episode we saw timer went off, and then there. Remind me if there was a speech or not, but there was like a few seconds, and then you started seeing all the fucking satellites start falling. Like,
No,
It was a, it was,
as
it
soon
was
as
a,
it
it was a few minutes even.
no, as soon as it hit zero, you saw the satellite starting to fall. In fact, they were moving closer towards Earth a little bit before that too. I'm pretty sure it was close. It was the closest in orbit, and it just started to fall because started getting pulled by gravity.
I don't know. It's like to me,
Yeah.
it felt like the DM where the players were able to succeed the puzzle, but they wanted to have the dramatic moments, so they're just like, oh well, one of the satellites still locked on and is falling to Earth where
But
Vivy is.
but this is a TV show, not D&D, where it's supposed to be linear.
Even still, it's the concept of he succeeded, but he didn't succeed. What will he do now? Oh, heroic sacrifice for no reason.
But they did succeed. The whole point was to show Matsumoto going to the lengths to preserve a body that he knows is disabled.
Yeah, no,
Like
that's a good
Even
point.
it's not
so,
like
he went to the
all of them started to fall. It was one to show character growth and development for Matsumoto. I
right, yeah, but it's also kind of doing that at the expense of the world building.
let me make let me make a rebuttal. Is Okiyasu letting the ghost dad go, creating drama for the sake of drama?
Yes.
But,
And it worked, and it's
No, it didn't.
fine there.
I still dislike that. Part 4 is my favorite part of JoJo's, and I still think that was the weakest part, where it's just like, oh, he got away!
Don't worry, Okiyasu, you got him on the ropes. Yeah. I forget how it goes. Never mind.
I've never,
yeah, I guess I just forgot that.
yeah, no, I've never liked this. It's just because it's common, it doesn't make it good, right? Like, don't appeal to popularity, don't appeal to, it's a false paradigm. Don't force your drama. It's okay if it happens. I don't expect every piece of media to be a fucking masterpiece of writing, right? Like, mistakes are allowed, flaws are allowed. It's part of nature, it's just how things go. But as far as, like, in this episode, I don't know, man. It's just not like I'm upset. It's
Here's my point of it. I think it's unnecessary because we've already seen Matsumoto putting his own physical body in the way to protect it before. It's really no reason to do it again. And even
Yeah,
so,
but
protecting the physical body, there's no reason. They could just build another Vivy. That's what I thought they did.
mm, I don't I don't know about that one because that one would have less meaning to him protecting the actual body.
Well,
I really like
sure,
that scene because
but
it
I mean, sure, but they built another Grace, and she's still Grace.
well no the whole reason Psyche wanted to save the original Grace was because that wasn't the same Grace to him
wait,
because that was a copy that wasn't the same person to him.
Makan, do
That's
you
kind of
mean
what it got.
Grace or Beth?
Oh yeah, Beth, brain gone. I confused their name. Yeah, no, the Beth is not the original Beth, but she's still Beth. And by how
Is
Vivi
she?
was acting, And yeah, I think so. From how they explained, they said she's a clone, so
Yeah, she's a clone like Grace, but it's
yeah, but still, she had all the memories from previously before the incident where the virus will absolutely run through her on the Sunriser. And considering that Vivy has lost most, if not all, of her memories, well, that would make more sense to me.
I don't think they had a backup of her data. Like,
Really? With how
or if they
Matsumoto's
did,
been linking with her constantly?
Yeah, exactly. If
if they
Matsumoto's
did, it
able
would be
to
on
run
the.
all that, yeah.
If they did, it would be on the archive, which is now shut down.
Yeah, shut down. The data is still there.
I mean,
Just because the
that's
computer shuts down doesn't mean the hard drive is just deleted.
yeah, but isn't this debate in the moment just indicative of our issue with the show, where it's just like we don't like the rules of the world aren't set up well enough where we can understand how things function in its entirety?
Well, I don't. I think you guys are just putting too many what ifs into it. That
What ifs?
like
It's
because you
quite.
can what if any anime.
Sure, but not every anime leaves me with this many questions and like unresolved feelings.
Because I
I mean,
because
listen,
with
we've always been on opposite ends when it comes to this show. I've kind of had the middle ground, but as we reared toward the ending, I've stepped closer toward Makan's end on this on Makan's take on this show, for so speaking. But like, there was just a number of things in this episode that didn't meet my expectations, nor did it kind of like hit notes that I personally wanted. That's okay. Obviously, you have things that you really liked about the finale, and I do want to hear about them. Personally,
yeah, because
I'm just glad to see the best character get the stage light that they deserve, and that is Crab, my favorite Vivy character, Crab.
so something I actually meant to say last week, but I forgot is I think it was during the Elizabeth arc where I can't remember who said it, but someone said that this show doesn't feel like it's a character focused show, and where we are at in the finale, I could not disagree more. This show for me is all about the characters, Vivi and Matsumoto, their growth and development. I
Well,
that scene with the crab and them talking, I adored it, because shows Vivi's development, and you can see him because Matsumoto is having this realization, like not having it, but knows like that this is going to be the last time that be the last time that she'll probably sing. And
Oh,
he's
you're
like, you know,
roboted out. This will be the
I've
last
never,
time. What?
like, he knows this will be the last time that she'll probably sing. And he's just sitting there going, you know, I've never heard you sing in the audience before. I just realized that. She's like, oh, really? In our 100 years together, you haven't? He's like, no, I haven't. And it's just this really melancholic scene. It's like, aw. And then she gives him the hug, and he's like, what? Yeah, you're warping me. She's like, the previous timeline you told me to get all fired up. He's like, really? And she's like, I don't know how that's possible. It's just, he's like, you know, it took 100 years to get a joke out of you, huh? And it was,
Yeah,
it was really sweet. I
that
loved that scene.
that
it
was a
was a
really good
cute.
scene.
It was a cute scene indeed. Let me give you a counter argument, Meep. Yes, the show is about the characters, as in plural,
Uh,
because the rest of the characters are kind of faceless.
yeah. And before we touch on that, just to touch upon the goodness of this scene. I agree, mate. I really like the scene. Again, though, I wanted more from it. Like, I was left wanting. Like, in the last episode, we got the failure, right? We got the bad ending, but, like, in a medium like this, when you play with time travel, not like in video games, right? There are many, like, bad endings. That's where the joke is from. So you reload or you go down a different path and you make different choices and you try to find the good ending. But most of the times, the good ending doesn't acknowledge the bad ending unless you're playing something that's really well written, like one of the 999 games, one of the Zero Escape series. Um, I really wanted to see them come together more. This is a nitpick because I also understand they're about to take on the archive, and Vivi, deep down, isn't really 100% certain that she's going to succeed. So I get things are tense and she's still processing emotions, but I really wish we got more emotion, one way or another. My note for that scene is call each other partner, damn it, because that's the whole fucking thing that happened last episode. Let it come to fruition.
Did you miss them doing the forehead thing?
The forehead thing was cute. It kind of feels a lot less when, like, 4 minutes ago, she snapped a fucking AI's neck after doing the forehead thing.
Well, like, the thing with them touching foreheads, that's an AI's way of sharing data, aka emotions.
I remember.
And I loved it when they did it, because it's like, I squealed when they did, like, they finally did it!
Yeah, and like I said, it's not like again, I'm just voicing my issues with it. Like them talking, Vivy kind of taking a note from Diva's book and doing the little snap, getting peppy, emoting, being like more, peppy. Yeah, there's no other way to put it. Like she's more hype, she's everything, being more of a showman, and a performer. Like that was great. I really enjoy that. I don't understand what Matsumoto is made from because she can squeeze him as if he's as if he's rubber. But who cares? The animation is fun. But Matsumoto wasn't as emotionally developed or deep as he was in the previous episode. Vivy wasn't as like emotionally vulnerable and expressive as she was in the previous episode. And while I won't like I can't be an asshole and say like, oh, it feels like they were just going through the motions. Because no, this episode the finale did have substance to it. I was just left feeling hungry.
With Vivy not feeling as emotionally vulnerable, that's because she got this. For me, it was because she got this new drive, and she's trying to be confident and trying to put on a brave face. And Matsumoto being vulnerable for the first time is because he knows the journey is coming to an end.
Mm.
And like I said, he knows what's going to happen to Vivy, and he's melancholic. He's sad. I think this is no, we've seen him show sadness before. It was just a bit more muted. Like for me, this was the first time that you actually see him a bit torn up.
Mm.
And I really enjoyed seeing that facet of him.
Now, Makan brought up a good point before, where when you said the show's about its characters and it's about its main characters, because I still cringe at Beth, and I really think I personally find this Beth's behavior all the way up until the very end to be an insult to my favorite part of the show, which was the Estella arc.
May I ask why?
Yeah, hearing Vivy go like for your master Yurio and you two who want to change the world, like when fucking Vivy was like, yeah, did your grandfather like what's her fucking face? I forgot her name. Yui, the Toke girl. When she's like, yeah, my grandfather Yuki. She's like, yeah, like we believe that changing the world is possible, just like my grandfather. I'm like, yeah, did your grandfather believe that change is possible? Was that really? No, was that really what he was about? You motherfuckers.
It's the opposite of what he thought. He didn't think change was possible, so he was just gonna fucking destroy them all.
Well, technically, he thought change was possible, except he wanted to change AIs into subservient machines instead of people.
Yeah, no, I will say again, I don't like. Again, if they had more time to, if they had more time and were able to actually properly show that, I might be on board. But yeah, no, that I didn't enjoy that part. But
and then Beth until the very fucking end of the finale, just being master, master. That is such a detriment to the character we saw incredibly grow and develop and change in like the last third of episode 4 or whatever episode that was.
I will say this again, like we did in episode 11. She didn't, though. She, after her memory was reset, sure, but that's not growth and development. That is her memory being reset to serve Estella and her character.
No, it's her memory being reset to when she was serving Yugo, because that's how she was acting back
Yeah,
then.
she's hard programmed to like suck Yugo's proverbial dick, and like I'm really not about it. Because
I'm talking about during the Estella arc when Vivy headbutt her and reset her memory.
yeah, because
That's what I'm talking about.
she reset the Toke programming because they salvaged her and reprogrammed her. Like, okay, listen, this might be me reading into it too much in my own way, and like, I completely understand if my takeaway was not the intended takeaway, but at the end of the day, this is what my takeaway is. To take an AI, which throughout the show, I think we were shown to be people, not just machine, not just computer, but people, and to take them from a salvage heap and then reprogram them against their will or just force your is the equivalent of rape. It is you are forcing yourself into this person and rewriting their mind, their personality, their mission, their purpose in the world. That is an incredible infringement of autonomy, agency, and just a sense of self and soul.
Dal, it is a infringement, but calling it rape is disingenuous. Rape is a sexual act. It is brainwashing.
It's more than sexual act. It's power. It is more of a
Sure.
psychological traumatic
Sure.
assault than
But there is a word for exactly what is happening, which is brainwashing.
okay, fine, sure. It's just
And my rebuttal is, yeah, Yugo was a piece of shit who did that, but you shouldn't put that on his granddaughter, who seems to be treating
I'm
Elizabeth
not
with a lot of respect and a lot of care.
I like his
Who
granddaughter. Go on, sorry, I thought you were done.
who sees her as a friend, and even had that scene of going, "No, I'm asking you to do this as a friend, not as your master." Who sees her as a friend? Sure, Elizabeth is still going master, 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 because that's her programming. Like that, she's still been reprogrammed, but the granddaughter isn't taking advantage of that. She's still treating Elizabeth as a person, wanting to stand up with her, and that's what I like about this is because they're she's treating Elizabeth in a very respectful and human way, and
I
we even get that scene of like humans defending the AI. One of the Toke guys takes a bullet for Elizabeth.
yeah, and that was fucking amazing, and I want to get back to that, but just to clear up the point I was trying to make before, I have no issue with Toke Girl, like Yui. Like, I think she's a great character, and she's showing that through empathy, we're able to bridge the gap of ignorance and hatred that we saw in Toke, or were alluded to in Toke, and kind of like seeing people come together. But then, like, how do I put this? Like, it never sat right with me with how Beth was treated, right? Because like the premise is that AIs are becoming human, right? Like the joke aside, they are people. And they're starting to be able like through Vivy and Estella and like the other interactions we saw, especially with Antonio and Ophelia, because you got to see negative emotions, not just positive ones like with Estella. You start seeing them like they're capable of having autonomy, of having their own agency in life, um, intellect, both emotional and like mental, whatever. Yeah, they're people, and
Yeah,
like the idea
the
of
entire
go ahead.
I just want to bring this because the entire premise of the show is what is heart, and by that question, what really makes a human?
Yeah,
Apart from the biology and everything, because if something looks like a human, talks like a human, and thinks like a human, this is not a human.
yeah, yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a human, just person, right? Because like you encounter different species, like in sci-fi, you encounter aliens. They're still people, even though they're not humans. But we tend
Yeah,
to
sure,
use
but
those.
these sure, but these are things directly modeled of humans. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, fair
technically
enough.
not the same species, but in spirit, yes, they are the same species because they think the same, act the same, and do the same.
Fair enough, fair enough. But like I would not use that term. I would not use the term rape lightly. But like it never sat right with me with how like Beth was treated at the beginning, which is why I was rooting for her. That screaming of Estella distorted in her programming, both coming from a genuine place of loss that came from Elizabeth, as well as the hatred that Toke programmed into Beth. Like that is why that scream rings in my ears till this very fucking day. And they took this person, this broken, sad, abandoned person who was taken from her sister and thrown away like a fucking object, taking someone in their lowest of lows and then brainwashing them forcibly and making them do what you want to do against their original mission, fueling their pain with your hate and turning it into hate to the very thing that they were originally meant to love. That is disgusting. And like, if I misuse that term, I am sorry. But it filled me with such a humanistic revulsion in the sense of like, I found that to be so incredibly offensive that every single time this Beth, this like rebooted clone Beth, refers to Toke Boy as master, I cringe. Because like honestly, I might be going too far right now, and if I am sorry, but this is some like I don't know. This is like what, NTR vibes? I don't know where to go with this. I fucking hate it.
Because
Yeah, no, Dal,
well,
with you
abuse does
explaining it,
linger.
with you talking about it, I can definitely see how in your mind you could contextualize it as rape, because as you explain more how you think about it, yes, I can see how you get there with how repulsed you are for how a character you really seem to like was treated.
Me, if you were gonna say?
I was gonna say, yeah, and she still calls him master because she still has that programming. She still like that abuse has still lingered, but at the same time, she's not technically. Yes, she's serving him by serving his granddaughter, but his granddaughter is treating her as a person, and
No,
she's grown through her, and
she
they
has.
want to stand up. And we saw that development when Yui went, no, I want you to do this as a favor, and Elizabeth did when protecting Vivy.
That
It's
yeah. That's why I
yeah, and
fucking love that moment, because like you get to see Beth being treated as a person and moving past her programming and her like hardwiring. But
yeah,
that is again taken away in the same episode when she's like, "You never told me what my master thought of me." Like that was her fucking dying thought, was still this piece of shit. I'm angry.
and
I I can see the emotional draw that scene might have, but to me, it's this person still holds superiority of you. They're wording it very flowery, but it's still in order.
yeah,
No. No.
You can say
and
no all you want. That's what I think, because that's what it looks like to me.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not sorry. I'm not denying your
and
take. I'm just saying like, no, I didn't feel that way.
and,
Yeah.
and in this episode, we get to see, like I said, Toke take a bullet for her, which I thought was a really interesting thing because 50 years ago they wouldn't have.
No,
50 years ago they fucking
10 years
Yeah,
ago they
and
wouldn't have.
fucking
yeah.
2 days ago they wouldn't have. So that's why I think that guy is fucking stupid. Because
Oh,
sure,
really, Magan?
it's a touching thing, but he's dead. They could have just made another fucking Beth.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Okay, when I say take a bullet, they shot one of those like EMP grenade things,
No, he
like the
dead.
ones that
Yeah, he dead.
one
There
that
was a
the one that
bullet hole in his fucking heart.
no, because it wasn't one of those grenade things, like the one they shot at the one that Yugo shot at Vivy in the Ophelia arc.
I don't know. I'm looking at the screenshot right now.
It shot off lightning, yeah, but
Yeah, I'm looking at the
there's
screenshot
fucking
right now.
blood.
There's a lot of blood, and there's like he's like having electricity course through him. So like, which is like okay, from a con side, on a pragmatic side, I get it. Like practically, like in a practical side, yeah, Beth probably. Well, actually, no. It actually wouldn't make sense because if Beth got taken out in that, many more men would probably have died. Because Beth is a fucking badass. Regardless of how I feel about what they did with her character and how they invalidated Elizabeth and the end of the Estella arc, Beth is an absolute badass and is a treat to watch on screen when in combat. That would have taken her out of commission, and that probably would have resulted in plenty more dudes dying. And this guy, not only took one for the team, but it is really nice. Like Meep said, like he took a bullet for Elizabeth. Like this person sacrificed himself to save his AI friend, and that that does mean something.
But to me, that fucking change of heart came way too fast. Because 2 days ago they were holding at her at arm's length.
Well, 2 days ago we didn't see the entire organization. Like, not everyone in the organization is going to feel exactly the same. Sure, there are those people who are like, shoot Vivy, she's an enemy, but I'm sure there's other people in there that aren't like that.
Meep, wasn't you the one complaining to me for doing too many what ifs? Because I'm just going off what we know. Toke hates AI quite incessantly until the last episode.
Going off what we know, Toke was reformed through Yui Kakitani, and there are still some people in there who feel the same, but there are also different people in there. It's...
From what we were shown, they all feel the same, but they're following her lead now, and because she says, we love them now, they love them now. Because as soon as Vivy showed up, they went, this is the bitch who did all this, fucking kill her!
Two people did that, not the entire group.
Okay, Meep. You know as well as any of us that it will not... It would not show us every person's comment. The comments of the few people are meant to show the attitude of the greater group.
Yeah, I mean, out of the people who spoke up, all of them were against her.
The difference in this episode is morale. They had this resounding speech. They had lost less people by that time, which in the beginning I was like, listen, I'm glad that you saved that dude from the AI, and I'm sorry, still headbutt to share feelings, then snapping that AI girl's neck is ridiculous to me. It's so fucking visceral.
I'm just happy that guy lived, because we see him in the end credits.
We'll talk about the end credits.
Like, dude, don't stop with the boy anymore.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Also, I wasn't quite done with Beth, because I did have that thought in my head now that if she was taken out, that would be a huge disadvantage to them. At the same time, she had her knife at the ready to block the bullets.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, right? Because, like, still, it's the fact that someone would do that for her in Toke of all organizations does mean something. The show has established enough to make this scene mean a lot, or at least something.
You might think so, but I think it's on the same level as the satellite falling, even though they stopped it. Unnecessary drama.
Okay.
Well, another thing I really liked about this episode, Vivy's definition of heart. That was a really heartwarming scene, as her walking down going, I finally found my definition of a heart. Every time I would get on stage to sing, after every adventure, I would be better. And she defines her heart through her memories. Who she is as a person, she defines through her memories, and I really liked that. I really liked that roundabout, really heartwarming, just showing of character for her. And the entire song was just beautiful. Like, because this was one of the first where I actually paid attention to the lyrics for the whole thing, and just, it was so beautiful seeing, like, in that scene where the girl is about to get shot by the AI and it just shuts down and the husband just frantically looks like, what's going on, just that confusion. I loved that scene. That scene was beautiful.
And
I enjoyed the song. I do have one critique. That song did not sound very much like la 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 la.
It did. It's just Vivy actually has... Vivy isn't tone deaf.
Lyrics.
Well,
sure, yeah, Vivy isn't tone deaf.
Well, sure, but I don't remember that refrain, even if not tone deaf.
It's the melodic progression of it's the ending song, right? It's the
I mean, it's the ending song, but it's not the song she sang.
It is.
It is.
I mean, I agree that it's a little bit different, right?
A lot of fucking different.
It's just accompanied by a piano instead of la 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 la. It's accompanied by a piano because the.
I assure you, Makan, the melodic progression is the same. It is intact. It's just it's different.
I'll believe you on it because I am horrible at music, both in understanding it and playing it. But at the same time, to my tone deaf ears, I don't fucking hear it.
I mean, sure, when the other AIs are singing it, it sounds different, but I'm sure if a fifth grader tried to play it on a recorder, it would sound different as well.
Yeah, sure. I'm not saying it. I could not recognize that song in that song. Is what I'm saying. At all. It wasn't.
Sorry, sorry. Sorry, okay,
It
go on.
was just like, yeah, that's what they were singing just because it sounds fucking haunting when a fucking crowd of AIs tone deafly sing that.
Yep.
But it didn't feel like it was a thing in her song at all. Because if anything, they should be singing the lyrics and not just singing the piano chords.
I personally like that the finale song wasn't just the ending song. Was it the
Like I said, it's a small critique because I liked it, but it's also that's not the song they've been singing.
okay? Well, I assure you, Makan, it is. But I'm not saying. Okay, listen, I get it. It didn't feel the same way for you. It didn't sound the same way for you. You felt it that it was like a different thing. Still enjoyed it, cool. But I do have to say for the record, like it is that song. It's just a different rendition of it. But yeah, the song. God, I hate it because like I am finding myself. I'm not being a contrarian. I swear. Like I'm not doing this on purpose to like make a point or be difficult. I'm finding myself hearing excitement and being like, yes, but no. And not because you're wrong, Meep or Makan. Like your take, or it's just my own experience with the finale was underwhelming. The song was nice, but thinking about the musical performances we had before, we've had the screens of memories like 3 times already in the last 2, 3 episodes. Like, it wasn't that much of a spectacle, and then everything shut down. They got glittery. Why were they getting glittery and sparkly? What's happening? Why?
I'm with you, Daniel. I like the song, but the actual sequence, nothing really impressive to me.
I'm with you, Meep. I did like the cutaways to the people when everyone's shutting down. There was that one. Oh wait, no, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting my scenes mixed up. It was when Vivy went to save Toke, and that one fucking top AI just sassily holding his hip, shooting them. I'm like, what is this pose? But yeah, no, like it. But also like for the killing of the actual the humans, it's like they showed people like holding their hand up against these AIs like multiple times. It was a shot that they relied on a lot, and it started to feel a little repetitive. Like I wasn't there like, oh, like these people are dying. It's like, okay, you're gonna pull the trigger again. This sucks. I wish we could save these people. And ultimately, I guess we did.
Yeah, as far as the glittering sparkly effects, I I really don't see what the problem there is. It's just
It's not a
a
problem.
visual thing.
It's not a problem. It just I'm once again left with the question of why is this happening?
Yep.
I think that's one of those things that you don't really need an answer for.
But that's fair.
If you if you try to
Yes.
look for answers in every single thing, of course you're going to find problems. Like if you try and answer everything in something like JoJo's or Full Metal Alchemist, of course you're going to be left with, wait, why the fuck is this happening? What's happening? Wait, what?
No, Full Metal Alchemist does
It's
a very good job of establishing its world.
Yeah, but if you look deep enough, you're also going to find issues. It is not
yeah, it's because nothing
As
is perfect. Everything is going to have flaws.
to paraphrase the words of John Green, inaccuracy and inconsistency of plot is a privilege reserved for nonfiction. Because when you're writing fiction, you really need to keep things like everything needs to make sense. Otherwise, the world you're building is falling apart. But in nonfiction, in the real world, so much shit happens for no fucking reason with no immediate explanation.
Yeah, but even in nonfiction, and there's a lot of things that happen without explanation. Either that they just didn't explain it, or they failed to get their point across properly.
Yeah, and I do feel like
There's also so many works of fiction that we've discussed on this show before that don't explain every single thing. How did Hacker become a part of the mainframe, Dal? Can you explain that to me? Huh? That was your Marion Fall.
Yeah, no, I mean, Akudama Drive took itself less seriously than Vivy, in my opinion.
It
And
did, but that episode didn't. That episode tried to take itself super seriously.
listen, I'm glad you brought that up because I was trying to find a way to like slip in the fact that I have often been the person on the show that's like, don't take it too seriously. Just enjoy it for what it is. And for what it is, Vivi, you know what? That's more of a holding up card situation. But for what it is, Vivi's a good time. But like it just it failed to live up to my expectations. That's also on me.
Dal, you say that, but it's also on Vivy for the
Would you say the
expectations.
finale made the journey to get here not worth it?
I'll answer your question right after Makan finishes, and because I
Yeah.
do have an answer
Uh,
for you, Meep.
Dalaran, sure that you had those expectations are partly on you, but it's also on the show for setting up those expectations with the brilliant first episode and the majority of the second episode.
Yeah, no, Makan's got a point. The show did set up a number of things that I not feel satisfied about its, the resolution of said topics. A couple of things were kind of just left by the wayside, and I did feel like this show's tone was inconsistent. But to answer
I
your
mean,
question, Meep, yeah, no, I really liked the journey. Uh, but I've had my issues with this show throughout the journey. Do I regret watching Vivy? No. But do I would I tell people that this is a must watch? No, I will not.
to just say my take on the expectations thing, I mean, I watched the first same two episodes as you did. Friends of mine watched the first same two episodes you did. Like, if you had different expectations than other people, that's fine. But at the same time, I wouldn't say it's completely on the show. Like, if you have your own expectations out of the show, hey, that's fine. But at the same time, that is also your personal expectations. The expectations I had out of this show, except for what they set up with Toke, I felt all of them were met extremely well.
Well, you see, I don't watch trailers. I don't read things out of the media usually of whatever I consume. I just consume the product. I did the same with Vivi, and I only made my expectations from what they set up with me, and from what they were giving me early on was this is a very serious show that's going to cover a lot of serious topics containing of the mental state of human beings, death, trauma, and growing old. And to me, they did not manage to do any of those justice.
Once again, I'm in the middle ground. I think Vivi's journey and especially Matsumoto's growth in the latter half of or the final third of the series is indeed good. It's enjoyable. You see it come into fruition. You see her reflect on her past experiences. Very good. The expectations outside of that, whether set up by the show or through my own preferences and expectations, unfortunately not.
And I mean, sure, everyone has their different expectations of by who they are, but my expectations were made because of what the show showed me.
Same with me. The expectations I got from watching the first two episodes were to see these two characters go on their journey, go through hardships, but to find the good moments within them. And in this final episode, seeing the scene of Vivi going, "My life wasn't just full of bad moments. We
Yeah,
had good ones too." That made me tear up, man.
yeah.
Just thinking, like, for all the bad that happens, there's also a lot of good, and just seeing her come to that realization, I I didn't cry, but I felt so heartwarmed. This episode kept a smile on my face. And while it wasn't a finale that made me cry, I still very appreciate the show and what it did and the themes and messages it told.
As hmm, I'm glad you did. and I know this show hits a note for you that it didn't hit with me, and certainly didn't hit for Makan. Um, it's just, I never really got on board why Vivy, like I was with Vivy on her trauma, but like in the last episode when she continued to be mopey, it didn't really carry weight. It was kind of like a wave that crashed in on its own weight. It didn't really carry through till shore. For me. And as such, like I really enjoyed Vivi being more focused and getting everyone like being very mission oriented and like having that like certainty and assertiveness. Like it was good. I liked it. The focus. Um and we got some good scenes out of it too. Like it's just I hate I really do not want to be that guy that is like I really like this, but then this made it bad for me, or like this, but then this ruined it. But I keep finding myself feeling this way. Like we talked a lot about the show, and I think we should be wrapping up soon. But there is one scene that I really enjoyed when she's like, "I'm gonna go to the place to perform the song, the only place I can go." And she went to her like humble stage in the beginning, and I thought like, fuck the main stage, it doesn't matter, your stage is right there, this is where everything began. I thought that was going to be great, and then Navi opened her fucking mouth again. Like, what was the point of summoning the little girl to fuck with Vivy?
Because Navi was trying to actually make her accept that they could just be AIs and be rid of the humans, which never paid attention to her. It's kind of like Antonio, but not as possessively psychotic.
Yeah,
She
Mm,
wanted Vivi
I,
to succeed, and she never got much success with humans.
mm,
yeah, and I also read into that as Navi being a bit jealous of Matsumoto as well, and Navi
yeah,
being like trying to trick Vivi and being like, "No, remember the promise you made," and and that scene where Vivi went, "She would never call me diva," and just walked away. It's like, oh,
yeah,
that's gotta hurt.
Exactly. And you say, why did Navi open her mouth? And I'm here sitting saying, thank God Navi opened her mouth, because this show at least managed to give me something that I can reflect on and go, yeah, that gave me a positive emotional reaction in the show, because nothing else has really. The entire thing with the diva made me feel like that was someone who's been around her a lot that she neglected, because she
yeah,
did. And in the end, when even though she were neglected, when Navi was there in the form of Momoko and gave her the only applause she got at her lonely performance, that's the only time where it pulled at my heartstrings effectively. The show has not managed to do that in any other way, but that was a very good scene.
yeah.
Momoka was Vivi's first fan, and Momoka kind of being at her last show was kind of poetic for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I like that more now that you guys gave me your takes on it. Because I kind of like I did feel like Momoko was being possessive. Not Momoko, Navi was being possessive, and I get it. Like she was traumatized, and I personally enjoy the fact that like here's the AI that is supposedly closest to you, uh, it, beyond Matsumoto or like Matsumoto notwithstanding, and having someone from her life, her supposed partner, Diva's partner, kind of being like arguing for her to join the side of the AI, right? Join the archive. Join the side of the archive in this situation was really good because, excuse me, was really good for the exact reasons that you guys just mentioned. It's like, oh wow, like, uh, this could possibly swing her, but Vivi is not Diva, and Navi might have been Diva's partner, which she also abandoned, right? Because we didn't see Navi during the songstress arc, the Ophelia arc.
Yes, we did.
Navi
It
was
was
there.
her. Yeah, she was in the room right before Matsumoto showed up and shut her down.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. So in a way, Navi lost her purpose and her mission because Vivi took the place of Diva, and like I understand why Navi would be hateful and resentful, but also just lonely and sad and wanting things to go her way because they aren't.
Sure, and
She doesn't
sure.
understand.
There was a lot of um, scenes and moments with Vivi and Matsumoto. I have my opinions on them as characters, but in my opinion, even with how little they showed her, Navi was the best character in the show.
Bruh. What?
I disagree, but I
I'm very curious to hear why, but
Just the
what?
personality bits we saw of her, her interaction with Vivi, how she is kind of like a close friend who chastises you a bit and constantly kind of is acting a bit mean towards you, but out of affection. And then just her having to deal with her loneliness as she was neglected for over 100 years,
Well,
basically. And then in the end, do
50.
that last stand to try and get back that connection, trying to fulfill her mission that was just flat out denied.
yeah, I'm not gonna say she's a bad character. I actually like Navi, but I,
And
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's between Matsumoto or Navi for me, because I have my issues with Vivi.
Matsumoto is a very good boy. Speaking of which, I do like how when he recreate or like reboots or resets Vivi, he gives her the name Vivi instead of Diva because that's who she is. It's the person she grew into, and I really like.
well, it's also
Yeah.
his partner.
Yeah, but
So
there's a couple layers to it.
I would like to speak a bit about Vivi and how I feel like she has changed strangely several times. Because when we started out, she was Diva, but she acted like Vivi. And then when she no longer is Vivi, and go back to Diva, she's a completely different person.
I don't know if I go as far as say she's completely different. Oh, you mean as
She
Diva?
is. Yeah, as Diva.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Even
Yeah, the
though,
different personality. That's because she gets
well,
rebooted and
well, yes, but in the start, that was not Diva. Diva
Well,
was acted like Vivi in the start.
what I understood that to happen is right because like Vivi was Divi, Vita, whatever you guys want to call her. She was very different in the beginning. She was still developing as a person. She was still growing. She only smiled by replicating people's facial expression. She never really smiled from the heart. And I feel like when she did turn into Diva again because of the crash, right? Windows has encountered a fatal error. Uh, she
she was
had a
born into fame.
well, born into fame, sure, but also like she has grown as a person, so there's more personality there for Diva to be Diva and Vivi to be Vivi.
She's grown as a
Well,
person, but she was factory reset.
I don't think she was factory reset. I think
well,
just yeah. Go ahead, me.
here's my takeaway. I do think she was factory reset, but because she was born into fame, like she was reset, but she had this fame. Like in the Grace arc, Vivi wasn't on the main stage, but she was still incredibly popular. Like it's the nature versus nurture thing. She was born into that fame and became a diva. Like you saw how we see during the Ophelia arc how kind of full of herself Diva is, and I think that's in part because she kind of was born into this because she's constantly going like, "Oh, I'm so great, aren't I?" Because she's confident, but at the same time, she still does have a bit full. She's still a little full of herself, and I think that is because she
You
not
guys
didn't work
say
with
that
it.
she was
That's not the right
factory.
word.
You guys say that she was factory reset, but Vivi was always there in the corner in the closet, like in the supply room.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
and even Diva said that deep down she always felt like something was missing. Like that what she was doing is not what she's supposed to. That her mission isn't actually what she's been doing for those last 10, 20, whatever fucking years.
I can agree with that, but I'll also say that before the Songstrand's arc, the character or the personality we knew as Diva did not exist.
What I'm saying is Diva was the personality that came out when Vivy crashed, but Diva also had a lot of the life experiences, which is why she did the Estella smile and gave people the Estella speech, and then kind of talked about human and AI relationships because of Grace and what's his name? Meep Saki?
Psyche. Dr.
Psyche.
Psyche.
Dr. Psyche. All those
Yeah.
things played a part. Like, I love that arc because it showed how far they have grown.
I don't have a problem with it essentially, but it's kind of played it off like it's going back to Diva how she was in the beginning, even though it's not anymore.
I
And
think it
she's
just I found it interesting because it's like, what if Vivy had all this character growth, but Vivy was actually Diva and her mission never changed?
sure. I
Yeah.
would wonder if she had different things, but like the snap thing is just a thing she had from there on for nowhere.
Well, no, she lost the snap afterwards, and then she got it back this episode. That's one of the moments I did get hyped when
But
she's just like
yeah,
she did the
but
snap from.
when she crashed into Diva, the snap was not picked up by someone else that she knew as Vivi. It's just a
Oh,
thing that came there.
that was her thing. Yeah. And then Vivi borrowed that from Diva in the finale, which I thought was really fucking cute.
I don't know. It's hard to explain, and clearly you see a lot of substance where I don't, because it
Mm,
just feels like his personality has been all over the fucking place in the show for me.
okay.
Should we hold up cards since we've been talking about the show for a while?
We've been going for an hour, yes.
I will hold up my card first. For me, the finale of a show for me means was the end. Did the ending make the journey to get here not worth it? And absolutely not. I think the journey is the most important part of the show, and the finale is showcasing the growth and development of the characters and showing to be the crux of the message and how Vivi, through her journey, through her experiences and her memories, found her heart and was able to find her identity through it. I'm going to fuck this show. This show had a such a profound experience to me, and I absolutely loved it. I love it to death. It with its finale, I can say it has replaced Jujutsu Kaisen in my heart. I'm going to fuck this episode.
Well, let me give the polar opposite of this opinion. I only tend to watch anime when I think I'm gonna enjoy it, or someone I know who knows me have hardly recommended it. And if I like it, I watch it a lot. If I don't, I quit about 2 episodes in. So because of that, I don't watch a lot of anime I don't enjoy. This has been one of the most driest watches I've ever had, as it did nothing for me emotionally. It pissed me off with a lot of its story beats. A lot of the characters felt one-dimensional to me, and the main character itself floundered all over the place. That in the last episode, a character kind of came out of nowhere and stole the show from me in the about 3 minutes they were in the last episode.
Wild.
And if a show that spans 13 episodes can only get one pull at my heartstrings at the end with a character that really had nothing to do with the story, I don't think the journey was worth it. And I don't think I really enjoyed my time with Vivi. I enjoyed Matsumoto's antics. He's a funny character. I enjoyed the music, fight scenes, and art. But that's just not enough to make a story worth it for me. I'm gonna kill the show.
What about you,
Um,
Dale? Was the journey worth it for you?
thing, man. Like, the only answer I really have is kinda. I don't know. Like, whether whether it was the really high expectations I came into this with how much like you hyped it up in the beginning, like, oh, it's this original work. These people have been working on this project for years, writing it out, and finally were able to get the adaptation to anime, and like I was really excited, and like I think from that moment on, with knowing how much like you telling me how much like passion and effort has gone into making this show, I was like ready for like a lot more than the show was going to deliver on, or what the show was even setting out to do, and that's partially on me, but I do also agree with Makan that it's also partially on the show. There were moments throughout this entire show where I was just like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense to me. Why is this happening? How did this come to be? Why is it happening in this way? And like I said earlier in the FMK, I don't dislike Vivy. In fact, if someone asked me, hey, should I watch Vivy Fluorite? I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I would go, yeah, honestly, if like you're into like a story about like this AI kind of figuring out themselves throughout a lot of tragic moments, and I do mean tragic moments, like get ready for feels because you're going to get hit in them a lot. Uh, but just know that the ending kind of focuses only on the character and kind of wraps things up in a way that doesn't hit all the notes that you might expect. Because that's exactly how I feel about this show. Ultimately, I found the finale underwhelming, and I found the show in and of itself to be, it's like I said, I found its tone to be inconsistent. I felt like, just I don't know, like what happened to, they were like hyping up her master to be something, and like I didn't need it to be a great reveal. It's just I thought maybe, when you give us a flashback, you're going to have the character in character acknowledge the flashback and be like, I do know what heart is. I don't know, maybe I just kind of wish I was shown a little bit more, or even was told a little bit more. Unfortunately, I'm going to be holding up a knife for the finale of Vivy Floride's song. Not because I didn't like the show, and not because I regret watching it, but just because at the end of the day, this is not a relationship I would want to keep continuing. I was going to knife it last week, but I thought that, there is a lot riding on the finale, and there is the potential to get the payoff that I personally wanted. And the conversation between the three of us for this show was absolutely worth fucking last week's episode. But with there being nothing left and the end credits being a fucking slideshow with just that still gave me fucking nothing, I have to knife the finale doing the show.
Wait. Okay. I'm just a little confused.
It was soft piano music and they're saving everyone. Beth helped. Cool. Then we show a guy stomping in AI is bloody, and I get it, he's pissed off because they're killing everyone. And then the man that Vivy saved was like, oh no, don't let hate into your heart.
The guy stomping the fucking AI's head into soft piano music as he just cuts out, that made me just laugh out loud at the sheer stupidity of it.
It felt uncomfortable.
Hmm.
I don't know if they had to rush the finale, but like that wasn't good.
I preferred that over getting just the finale being the ending with the dominoes falling. I don't know. I felt like I
Sure.
got more out of it.
And I would have preferred it to be actually animated and have people talk about how they're going to move forward instead of I hate these AIs. Don't hate the
But
AIs. Okay, I won't hate the AIs.
but legally, you need the credits to roll. If you don't credit the people that worked on it, that's a huge legal
Yeah,
debacle.
how many fucking shows have you seen where their last episodes are animated? They just have the credits rolling through the scenes on the side.
A lot, and I hate it because I can't fucking tell what's happening.
Ah, that's on you. I disagree with you on that one. But yeah, that's in Vivy Florida. She's so cute with her short hair though.
Hmm. You're Your criteria for a knife for a fuck is weird to me, but I
I do have to say, I thought her smile was so fucking dopey and dumb that she walked away from the window. Just, eh.
I did like that smile too.
It's kind of like, okay, that's silly, but also it's kind of cute. Though, just a side comment, I found my I didn't quite enjoy just like, oh yeah, we restored her. Her sacrifice meant nothing. Because to me, it just made me Involter click my tongue in annoyance, and I kind of
I
caught myself off guard with it.
I never liked that argument, Makan, because the sacrifice isn't about a person dying. It's about a person willing to die to give their life for something. We should always be like we don't need everyone to be a martyr for it to matter. Like Vivy was willing to die for everyone. We should be happy that they found a way to make her sacrifice not in vain, but also not a sacrifice.
The people they needlessly killed in this show. They could
Okay.
have killed.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, and that okay. Okay. I have nothing to argue against that. They did kill a bunch of people, so yes.
But each of those deaths served a purpose and a meaning and helped her along her journey.
Yeah. But Makan is saying that, if Vivi's death could also have, served a purpose and helped the journey.
Yeah, sure. Like a lot of the deaths served a purpose, but they could have served a purpose in a very different way without having them kill in that very moment.
You'll remember me, that Makan was never a fan of how they just introduced characters to kill them off at the end of the arc.
I made the joke last time that they reintroduced Beth and killed her the next episode again.
Well, I mean, it's not like the show getting 2 kills really means anything at this point because it survived to the end.
No, it didn't.
It's
It
still
died at
completely
the end.
eligible.
It died.
It's still complete. It's still completely eligible to be married. Thank God.
You can marry a show that's dead, Meep. That's not part of the rules.
Yeah, it's still dead.
It's a personal.
It
It's a personal thing. It's a personal thing I'm doing.
Sure.
Okay, so that's
For
on
me,
you.
It wouldn't feel right to marry a corpse for me.
It is currently a fresh corpse.
It is currently a fresh corpse.
If it survives to where we watch the final episode,
That's on you, dude. This is your headcanon.
I mean, it lived to the end.
It died at
It
the
died
end.
of old age, but it's been 100 years.
It
so
died at the
It
end.
didn't die at old age. It retired and got stabbed in the heart.
No.
Just because someone's in the fucking retirement home doesn't mean they're dead.
Face it, Meep. Vivy Fluoride's song did die.
It didn't because we all watched the final episode and the finale.
What the fuck is the
It
point
really
of
didn't.
And if it doesn't count as dead if we all
It's
if it gets killed?
Yeah, don't invalidate our
finale.
votes.
You would be making this exact same argument if this was One Rank. Don't you at me.
No, I wouldn't.
I would have made the same fucking argument if it was any show I enjoyed, because it died at the last episode. It died on the finish line.
No, to me, it survived to the end because we all watched it and we had the conversation about it.
It made it to the
survived
end,
to
but
the
then
end.
it died at the end.
Well, no, because the last vote is a formality. Getting
No, it
the
isn't.
kill
Fuck you.
doesn't-
Your vote's a formality. How about that?
Last vote is not a
It
formality.
is a formality. The votes on the last episodes are kind of just a formality.
How about fuck you? Your vote's a formality, and your vote doesn't matter.
Not saying your opinions don't matter. I'm saying with the structure of the show and the way the votes work, it dying.
It's dead.
Like,
it died. It is a dead.
Basically didn't though, because we all watched it.
Are we going to continue talking in circles? Or are we going to, while standing over Vivy's sad corpse, or are we going to talk about Super Cup?
I mean, I don't know, are we?
You're the one who reads us in, so...
Well, Super Cup episode 11. Koguma comes to Shi's rescue while Reiko recovers her things. However, the bike is toast. They have baths at Koguma's place and eat. Koguma and Reiko receive a free pass at the cafe a year free pass at the cafe, and they decide to go see the cherry blossoms with Shi.
What the fuck was this episode?
It was quite all over the place, but it was quite touching in my opinion.
Let's start off at the beginning, shall we? I actually forgot where we ended on last week. This show I do not come to expect, death from it. So I turned on the episode and then her phone rang and I was like, "Oh shit, oh no, anyway." No.
Now, so time for some light-hearted fun.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "All right, I'm walking back home. I'm going to watch the episode so I can just relax." Oh no. And I watched Vivy on Saturday, and I watched this today. And if I was and like talking about having an inconsistent fucking tone, what the fuck was this episode?
The the tone this episode was weird, and I felt the scene where she was talking like Reiko went, "Your bike is toast," the music, her cleaning the dishes. That scene was a lot more dramatic than I felt it. Like it played it really dramatic, like someone just passed away, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I found it really fucking weird that they were treating the death of the bike more seriously than fucking she almost dying.
I mean, because she was back in safety and she was acting all happy and just,
I
we gotta. It wasn't acting like someone died. It's like, all right, well, we gotta break the news to her that she ain't getting the bike back.
I found the scene itself to be incredibly well done. Her kind of putting on her happy face and being the chipper girl. Like, I get it. If you talk about like relating to Vivy, and I think you relate to Vivy way more than I relate to Eniwa, but like for a long time I prioritized the happiness and the I it was more important that everyone around me like everyone but me was okay. Like I would be okay if everyone around me is okay and like put on a happy face, keep it together, support everyone, even while I myself was having an incredibly difficult time just day to day. Um so like I kind of get the feel that Eniwa she is similar in that regard in the sense of like, she's like, "No, I'm okay. I don't want to be a burden. I'm sorry for bothering you. Everything like let I look up to you. Please don't be upset at me." But her holding that bowl and like she almost fucking died. And this show did not treat that with the level of seriousness or gravity that it deserved. And so she almost died. She got hurt. For some reason the fucking ambulance wasn't called. For some reason her fucking parents weren't called. She's at her friend's house. Like the whole episode is awkward as shit, but I'll get more into that later. And she's still keeping it together. I think that or the show just didn't take it seriously. But she's holding the bowl, and now her bike's fucked. So the one thing that kind of connected her to all the people around her, her friends, is now fucked too. And she's holding this bowl under the water, and it fills up, beautifully animated too. And the water just, it could have been better, but it's still great. And the water's filling up, the bowl is filling up with water, and it overflows and spills over the sides. And if anyone has had an emotional breakdown here, which I feel it's fair to say that all three of us have, that feeling of just bottling it up and trying to keep it together, and then it overflowing out of you because she then also started crying as her feelings overflew from her, that was fucking great.
Oh, such a good fucking moment.
I'll let you in on a little secret, Dal. I just don't think the show was taking it seriously. The whole death thing. I think that was just an excuse for she to go through this and probably get a cub next episode.
I think the worst thing about this episode is actually no, that is the worst part of the episode. Me, because I kind of agree with you, but also like this is the first time that the Cub commercials, my Super Cub. Don't thank me, thank my Super Cub. I think my Super Cub can save your life. This is the first time that shit actually made me uncomfortable.
I mean, I'm just sitting here. I mean, maybe it's because I understand Koguma more, as I feel quite a lot in common with her. Because I'm just ignoring thinking about it as a commercial at this point. Because I don't care. It's gonna have some fucking stuff about it, but I see that more as her deflecting, like, stop thanking me. I don't want to be thanked. I I did not do this for you to thank me.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
Also, how is she not more like hurt, or shouldn't she at least have a cold?
She was so cold she couldn't move. And
Yeah.
Koguma put her in the fucking front basket of her cub during winter. And I really don't like how the show played it off as a joke. Because I know this joke is being set up for the last 2-3 episodes. This, not like this, Super Cub. Really not like this.
Yeah.
I think there was about one moment from this episode I enjoyed, and that's when Reiko came out, just like she just came out and she just was like, "Wait, what are you doing?" Then Koguma was like, "Fucking get dressed."
For context, for those of you at home, she got put in, like Koguma took her in a bath for some reason, did not call an ambulance or the police. Also, Koguma walked up to her like, Daishobu, no, she's not Daishobu. Of course she's not okay. Why are you asking her this? As she's like, half her face is in the river, gripping her phone while shivering. Like, no, she's not fucking okay.
Well, I can give you the answer for that. That's basic rescue procedure. You ask someone if they're okay to see if they're lucid enough to answer you.
Okay, that's fair.
That is a common question that you ask anyone in any sort of procedure where they're under shock.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I was hoping that one of you would catch me on my bullshit right now, but the whole time I'm like, rescue she, lays her out on a rock. Rescue she, pulls her up a cliff. Rescue she, puts her in a fucking basket. Like,
putting her in the basket. Where the fuck else was she gonna put her? In the box?
put her in the box. That has more wind protection than the fucking front of the motorcycle.
Call an ambulance.
Call an ambulance.
In the box. And at the same time, she could have called an ambulance. They live in a rural town. It's much faster for her to go get her herself.
They don't live in America. The ambulance won't charge them $400 just for picking them up.
Sure, they won't charge them, but they would be about 25 minutes later, if not more.
She needed.
I live rurally now. I know this.
She needed professional medical attention, not just being put in a bath. First of all, she should have passed the fuck out. Second of all, whatever. Point is, the show didn't treat it seriously enough. I forgot. Yes, so for the context of those of you at home, she got put in a bath. Reiko got called over. Reiko comes over and then goes take a bath after because she is also cold, and yay, fun bath times. I fucking love Reiko. Reiko, best girl. Because she fucking comes out of the bath fully naked. Well, no, she was wearing like panties. But like, naked except for panties, just in a towel, hanging out with her girlfriends, like her, girls just hanging out with girls, and just like, yeah, oh, yum, this smells good, let's eat. And she's like, Reiko, you're indecent. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to get my clothes dirty. And Koguma's just like, get fucking dressed, you mook.
It's work overall. They're supposed to get dirty. You fucking it. Just love it. Though you're focused on after the bath. I love when she comes out of the bath, and for some fucking reason, Reiko's just on the floor and comes up like, "Yo, the bath ready?"
Yeah, it fucking pops out from under the table. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck was she doing down there?
Although the scenes after the scenes at the house, maybe it was just because my mood got soured, but I was bored.
I wasn't bored. I just didn't know what to feel.
Because again, it's probably because my mood was soured that I couldn't find what I usually find myself to enjoying this show, but I just felt bored, like waiting for the episode to end after that scene.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you like being open to that possibility, but I'm with you on that one, Meep. Like I was like, what the fuck is like what? Why? I did not know what to. I could not find something in the majority of this episode as well.
Talk about dissenters in the 11th hour.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a shitty episode. I mean, I have to call it as it is. It's a shitty episode. It had an incredible premise and setup, but the choices that this show made in this episode, the choices of how to handle the dramatic setup, the choices it made for the follow-up of the setup, and then even the choices for the payoff for jokes that have been set up over the last few episodes, all felt off and uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, that's how I can describe like the first little bit of this episode was me feeling uncomfortable, and then it just led to boredom for me. And what I don't, I don't. The parents. Why didn't the parents give? Like, why didn't they contact the parents? Like
Right?
right when she got home, she should have gave a phone. She should have said, I need to call your parents. What's their number?"
Yeah.
Rang them up saying, "Hey, your daughter's here. She probably needs medical attention.
Yeah.
Could you come get her?" Instead of just being like, "Well, sleep over at my house."
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't show it, which is off for me, but from the context of the interaction they had the other day, unless they fucking reveal to them right there, which is fucking weird. I do believe they called them, just they didn't show it.
No, that didn't sit
The
right with me
way
either. I thought
the
Reiko
way
was
it,
gonna come with her parents, and when just Reiko showed up, I was like, "Fucking really?"
the way it felt when they were at the scene, it felt like they had just been told about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, I know the point of that is probably like, oh, they didn't want to worry the parents, but if that happens, not wanting to worry your parents, you should still fucking
I
tell
mean,
them.
they didn't want to worry their parents. I mean, their 15-year-old daughter is not home past midnight without a trace. They would be worried either way.
Exactly.
15, because I'm not even sure how fucking old she is.
I mean, like a bit like 15 or 16, I guess. But yeah, no, like okay, okay. Let's think about it in a teenager perspective. I can see why they wouldn't call the parents if like there was like a small accident and she was spending the night and they all wanted to hang out and like like they'd be like, no, let's just, oh, if we call the parents they may come pick her up, they're fine, we're not gonna tell her, like we've it's a stupid fucking play. She almost died.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not a small accident though.
Yeah, I don't know, Makan, where are you on this?
You say it's not a small accident. I don't know what kind of accidents you've been in as a kid, but that looks very small to me. She
She
might have been that
couldn't
old.
move.
Yeah, I don't see why she couldn't move. She did not have a fucking scratch on her.
Well, I think that's just the show now wanting to show
Yeah,
blood.
and that might be it, but that's what I saw, that she didn't have a scratch on her. I don't know why. Maybe she just wasn't strong enough to climb out of the thing to begin with and called for help instead. But
She couldn't move because she was too cold to move.
well,
They say that.
well, yeah, but when she impacted the fucking river, she shouldn't have been too cold to move at that point.
She
Get
could
out of
have
the
she
river.
could have she could have been knocked out for a bit.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah,
But
which is why I'm saying it's not a small accident if you're unable to move in a freezing cold river for however long.
have any of you ever actually fallen into freezing water?
Intentionally or unintentionally?
Either or.
Intentionally, yes. Unintentionally, no.
You don't
Unintentionally, yes.
you don't need an ambulance. You don't need to go to the hospital. You need to warm up. That's all.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go play by play by like how I experienced this episode. Fucking Kokuma shows up, see that she's in the water. Cool. First of all, take the phone away because that's gonna fall into the water. Second of all, why the fuck did you not call an ambulance? Okay, your friend is unable to move because of how cold she is. Okay, you're being very unreactive and not really reassuring. You're being kind of emotionally cold. Okay, well, your friend's cold. Take your jacket off and put it around her. Okay, you're gonna keep your jacket on. Okay, call for help so that she doesn't have to go up a cliff. Okay, you're making her go up a cliff. Okay, well, help her up. Oh, you're not gonna carry her. You're gonna shove her and drag her up a cliff. Okay, okay, get her to her parents or medical safety or something. Okay, you're gonna take her to her house. All right, call her parents and medical professionals. Oh, you just called Reiko. What the fuck?
There are two parts of that I actually have a problem with. The rest she did perfectly. She go there, yeah, put her phone away so it doesn't get wet. Go in there, make sure she's conscious and lucid so she can respond.
I did
Which is a good.
like I did like Koguma slapping her awake. I thought that was a good
Yeah,
move.
that's great. She gets her attention. Instead of leaving her down there, pushing her up the cliff is the better thing, so she's not laying on wet rocks or in the river itself. After she gets up there, sure, she could have taken off her jacket. Wouldn't really change much, just she's already wet. Um, then instead of calling an ambulance and letting her stay out in the cold air for up to 30 minutes, if not an hour, she instead drives her home, which is a short trip because she lives nearby.
Sure. But they still should have called him.
All of, no. If she is conscious, if she can speak, if she is able to emote the way she were, she don't need an ambulance. She just needs to get out of those wet clothes and get warm.
Man, the way I saw it is that whether anyone got unconscious or not, she was in the water for long enough to the point where she was so cold she couldn't move, and that is alarming.
It is, but at the same time, yes, she should have drove her home, got her in the bath. If she's still feeling bad after that, call an ambulance. Definitely call her parents. I'm not sure if she did that or not, though, so I can't. I do that if she didn't. That's bad if she didn't.
Well, either way, even if she tumbled in there or just full on fell in there, she would have more injuries than what she had. That's my problem when I say it didn't take it seriously, because she fell into a ravine, into a river. She would have more injuries than scrapes and bruises.
Yeah, not even just a ravine. Yeah, it wasn't just a river. It was like a river valley. Like she fell down a cliff into a river.
Yeah, it's a cliff that's like 2 meters tops. I've fallen down stuff like that as well.
I don't think
It's
it's
not
2 meter tops, friendo.
from looking at that and how tall these characters are. Oh, it's about that tall. It's not that big, and she fell into water. It's not gonna hurt her that much, but she should have definitely had
But
some scrapes and bruises.
it's shallow water, small enough to where she could be laying down, and most of her face is still out.
But she still
That wouldn't cushion it a whole lot.
a whole lot, but it would cushion it. And sure,
No, I don't think it would.
by landing on it, but she is not going to be more injured than a few scrapes and bruises.
She would have a broken arm. As someone who's fallen 5 feet and broke his arm, she should have had at least one broken bone.
I don't know about
it depends on how you land.
I would disagree with the broken bone part, but what I will agree with is, but I will also disagree with the fact that she fell 2 meters. Point is, anyone really felt like she was in a way worse way that she. And whether you say that show did that or okay, last week, right? All three of us were like, "Oh my fucking god!" Meep's like, "She's gonna die. That's it. We're gonna have the funeral arc." But like, it really felt more dangerous. It doesn't make sense to me. Why is she laying on the ground, unable to move, and then able to climb up a fucking cliff? I felt so bad for her, and the whole time she's like, "Koguma, I'm sorry," or "Koguma, forgive me." I'm like, bitch, she's making you go up a cliff. Don't fucking apologize to her. Koguma, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay. What the fuck was she supposed to do instead? She's not strong enough to carry her up a cliff.
I'll put it this way: Koguma's bedside manner sucked.
I will put it this way: you still shouldn't apologize for having almost died.
No, but that's just she's. insecurities.
That's that kind of personality. If you're being a burden to someone or perceive you're being a burden to someone, even if it's a life or death situation, and when you have her type of personality, you're going to be apologizing, even at the annoyance of the person helping you, and even though you shouldn't.
Also, yeah, like even I, like when I was on a hike and we were fording a river over a log, and I fell off the log at the end and cracked my finger and slit my arm open. Like, and as I was like getting wrapped up, and oh wait, not just my arm. I was like it was my leg and my hand were like split open. Because broken branches are actually sharp if you fall at them with a full like backpack's weight on you. It's just a thing to kind of take off the edge where it's just like you say like yeah, no, this sucks, I'm sorry guys, like, and everyone will always be like, nah dude, you're no, it's okay, you're fine, like you're okay, we're bandaging you up, cleaning you up, and everyone reassures each other. Here Kogan was just like, don't thank me, it's my super cook. We're like, it wasn't even like there was like Kokoma's bedside manner sucks.
But at the same time, I think it's the same thing as like, no, it's fine, don't worry. But it's just like, if you want to thank someone, thank my cub, because it is not something I need thanking for.
It that part still kind of pissed me off because it's like, yes, another commercial for our cub can do anything. Put your friend who almost died in the basket. It's better than an ambulance.
Not better than an ambulance, but sure as fuck it's faster when she's freezing to death if you would leave her there for an hour.
Yeah.
I really don't think an ambulance would take an hour or even 20 minutes to get there.
They live rurally.
Well, boys, we're arguing things that.
If I were to call an ambulance, it would take it 35 to 40 minutes to get here if they left immediately.
You'd be dead.
Some rural towns still have a hospital, though.
Most of them don't have ambulances. There's mostly small clinics.
Either way.
Maybe that's just a thing like that. The rural towns here that have hospitals do. So,
Really rural then?
Either way, she still should have called him, even if they were to arrive after she had already gotten her home, she still should have called him. Regardless, we're arguing hypotheticals and asking questions that we cannot possibly have answers for because we do not know what town she lives in, nor will it ever be told to us. Let's talk about
general area.
Yeah.
Considered from Fuji.
Yeah, that's true. Let's talk about the thing I really did like about this episode. Koguma reflecting on her relationship with She and revealing that she was cold to her, not because she didn't like her, or because Koguma was kind of a bitch, but because she was actually jealous of her and actually looked up to her in the beginning, and that she was the one who kind of like propelled her to get a cub and have all of this happen. That was really cute. It felt it felt a little bit forced, but it kind of still worked with how minimal the show is.
I just don't understand why that scene happened. To me, it just kind of came out of nowhere. It did feel really forced for me.
Yeah.
Alright.
I thought it was cute. It explained Koguma's standoffish attitude towards She. Koguma's fuck it. We don't have a perfect main character, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Should we hold up cards at this point?
I have a few more things I'd like to discuss. I also don't. I'm more with Dal. I think it was cute. I think it makes sense that I for one tend to be cold to people if I consider them some people I look up to, even if especially if it's someone who I consider doing something that I do better. It's like the way that Koguma did. And she was riding her bike and having so much trouble with it in the beginning, and anyone was just flying past her effortlessly. It breeds jealousy, no matter what. But at the same time, her being where she is now, being confident with who she is, at least certain to certain extents, she is cold because she is socially awkward, and she shows she cares in a very kind of meanish, blunt way, which I understand how that is because that's kind of how I show affection. And I connect so much with Koguma because I'm very much like her in any way I can see. And yeah, no, I think she just didn't realize how much she actually cares for she until all this happened and spending the time to rescue her and caring for her and everything, and her breakdown crying about just make this winter go away because it's been nothing but pain for her really with how
Yeah, we didn't touch upon that, did we?
And just it's an unreasonable demand, but it's just a desperate cry for help or to make the pain stop. And like you said, Dal, we've all probably had emotional breakdown. We've all had moments where we've, if not to someone, asked that question openly to nothing in some moment in our life. Just can something just make this stop? And like we know we're not going to get an answer for it. We know no one's going to be able to just snap their finger and make it right, but there's just I don't know. I think the way Koguma handled rescuing her was spot on, except for maybe not calling the parents, which I just assumed she did. Um, the ambulance would have been unnecessary at that point because after she was in the bath, she felt fine. Because take the basic treatment you can first before you call an ambulance when it's going to take fucking ages to get there anyway. And even if she would have called the ambulance before she even left, she wouldn't even know exactly where she was. She had to go look for her first, simply guessing at where she might be. She drove to the cat trail because that's where she last saw her.
No, she told her she's at the cat trail.
She told she fell in the river.
Yeah, no, she said at the cat trail, I've fallen off the road into the river.
Did she?
Yeah.
All right. Either way, yeah. It's also just to pinpoint where she is, and if she's in the river, she needs emergency treatment that an ambulance is not going to be able to get there as fast as she would.
Point is, it still should have been called because the fire rescue would have. If the fire rescue had arrived in time, they would have been able to help get she out of there a lot better than Koguma did. I don't know what the police would have done except provide more bodies to help, but
Dal, sure, the fire rescue would have gotten her out a lot better, but it would also get her out like 30 minutes later.
That's okay, but like you have to understand, like you have to agree that they still should have been at least called. That is that is like the best of all of our situations, right? Because let's say you're right and that they will take a while getting there. Then everything would have happened the way it would have happened. Nothing would have changed. However, if they did get there earlier, it would have been a lot better.
But I disagree. She needs to actually find her first. So, oh, she's on the cat trail. All right, where on the cat trail? I don't know. Like, go there and find her first, and then call her if she needs more help. But she was not bleeding. She was cold. Carry her out of there, get her warm, and assess from there before you call someone. I think that's whatever. We've talked about this already. I'm ready for cards now because I don't think I have any more to talk about here.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, I'll just do it first. You seem to have a lot of problems with the episode, both of you, but I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. I think it handled all these ways in quite a mature way for how a teenager / young adult would handle rescuing someone with their basic understanding of it. And yeah. Also, kind of when anyone was feeling better again and how she was acting around there. I know we make fun of me for doing it, but I think she might be a bit on the wet noodle.
You're saying Koguma, not Koguma. You're saying Eniwashi the gay?
I think Eniwashi might be the gay. I'm saying that Koguma might also be, because I think that would be a cute couple.
Oh. I mean,
anyway, I enjoyed everything about it.
I mean, I don't see the ship happening there either, but shippers are gonna ship.
I'm gonna kill this episode. It's the first episode in a while, and again, it could totally just be because of my souring at the start, but the entire episode, like, if it wasn't boring, it pissed me off. The whole the whole rescue sequence, Koguma having terrible bedside manners, the how it felt like the rescue was a commercial at the end when she's like, "Don't thank me, thank my cub," and it's like, okay, that felt like the most egregious of
This is
the
even
fucking
something my cup. This is something even my cup can't do.
yeah, and it how not serious they took the actual event of her falling in the river. She should have, if you fall that far, sure, okay, maybe not a broken bone, but you would have been injured. You would have been more injured than scrapes and bruises. You would need more than just going and having a bath. You would need medical attention, and then just everything else. I'm gonna kill this episode. Maybe the next one will be better.
I do want to just bring up to you. When I was a kid, I skateboarded down a hill, got to the bottom of it, flew off my skateboard, and scraped both my legs and both my arms in the asphalt. I
Road
didn't
rash
need medical
sucks.
from that. I literally just went home and took a shower to
You,
wash off the dirt and wash out my wounds. You don't need. It's a crash. It's not that bad.
sure, but also I would argue, as someone who's also experienced road rash and wiping out on his motorcycle, you do want to get that shit treated and disinfected. Like, you could catch a whole, you can get really sick depending on where you're at. Now, if you're at home, maybe your body has, like, especially as a kid, your body has more resistances and immunities to, like, the local microbes that are just in your area. But, like, I wiped out in Thailand, and everyone's like, no, you're going to the fucking hospital. Like, you're getting washed out, disinfected, and then, like, iodine your wounds because you're not from here. You're in a country road. You don't know what is now inside your blood and meat. And I was like, yeah, no, right, yep, yep. While fucking dripping blood off of both of my arms and my knee and leg. But also, like, falling off a skateboard, really fucking shitty. Falling off a motorcycle, extremely shittier because, like, my knee was eroded almost to the point of reaching the bone, so a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I think the speed is comparable considering I was going down a steep fucking hill. But yeah, regardless, like should have been hurt a lot more than she was, but arguably called the police or the hospital. Um, but considering what the show showed us, really no reason to do so.
Yeah, I this episode kind of sucked. Uh, it is with what the show showed us that I take issue with. Um, this show does subtle moments, motions, and emotions really well. It has done sadness really well. It has done excitement, happiness, joy, loneliness, melancholy, all that really well. And it was because of that that I was extremely excited for this show to tackle danger, panic, stress, threat, that kind of everything that I thought we'd be getting in this episode with the setup from last episode's, like, cliffhanger. It did not. The atmosphere was really dark and brooding, but nothing that was happening or how the characters were acting really, none of the behavior was in line with the atmosphere. It felt a little bit out of sync, just enough to make it uncomfortable. On one hand, I appreciate the fact that it's three teenagers who friend, one of which almost died today, and they're just sitting awkwardly, not knowing what to do. But for the first time, no, I had to stop for a second because I'm like, well, what if the awkwardness was the intended effect, right? And, like, that was the intended delivery. No, because emotions did break, and she kind of Eniwa she kind of became a not real character where up until this point the characters felt really real, like sometimes to the point of like actually feeling like people, and sometimes to the full or and the rest of the time just being really well written and true to their form. Even when we have issues with Koguma where like we don't understand why you're behaving the way you're behaving, but it's still part of the form. Here it was just kind of on the nose, like right in the middle of the forehead, and it just didn't make sense to me. However, the show does do joy and excitement very well, and while I think I didn't get the big emotional breakdown payoff because Koguma didn't really reciprocate and Reiko didn't really reciprocate, it didn't go anywhere with it. I am very curious to see what the get me the fuck away from winter episode is going to be, and this episode has built up enough good faith with me to for me to like be able to roll past this. Everyone has a bad episode, but even in this bad episode we have gotten good moments, mostly due to Reiko, but also like the big kind of come around with Koguma and her relationship with She and kind of how things are going to go from there. I am going to fuck this episode. I liked the show. I'm just really disappointed with how it handled the emotional content and the overall content in this episode. But, you know, it'd be that way sometimes.
Alrighty, that is 2 fucks and a kill for Super Cup episode 11. Our next show is Tokyo Revengers episode 11. The gang members run away as Takamichi and co. are taken to the hospital. Draken is saved and everybody celebrates. Takamichi returns to the present to find that he did in fact save Hina and Akun. Show dropping its Chekhov's gun real early.
Uh, you mean in what sense?
Takamichi completed his goal a lot quicker than I thought he would.
Yeah.
He certainly completed his first goal.
Yeah. He completed the
Yeah,
mission.
no,
Yeah.
I know I'm pretty sure that something else is gonna happen. He's gonna have to time travel again, but
Well,
as we are now, for all we know, his time traveling days are over.
well,
But
no, because he still needs to stop that other piece of shit.
no, his entire goal was to just save Hina. If
Well, that
like,
was his goal to begin with, but you don't think he wants Draken and Mikey to turn out fine now? Like, they might
well,
still
he
be.
thinks they are.
Well, yeah, but we don't know what's up with them yet. We don't know shit about them in the future so far.
I I know. I'm not saying that I don't think he's gonna go back in time again. I'm saying that I think for now because as he is now and what we're shown, I'm pretty sure he's not going to time travel again until something happens. Because he thinks that he already stopped Kisaki. Because when he's doing his monologue, he's like, "Yes, I stopped Kisaki and Mikey from meeting. I stopped Draken from dying. Everything was a success. I can finally return home."
Well, no, he doesn't want
And
to
he
return home, actually. He just feels like he needs to because his job is done in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we all know this is not going to be the finish of the series, but if this were moving to the finish of the series, he'd meet Tina in the future. He'd check in on Mikey and Draken, and then he'd have to make a choice. Does he want to go back and relive his youth, or does he want to continue from here on?
I think he already made his choice. That's what the whole scene with Hina and Naoto is about, right? Him kind of coming to terms with the fact that, like, as much as he wants to stay here with his friends and Hina and live the life he always wanted to live, he needs to return to his time so that, you know, his life. I mean, personally, I would just stay. Honestly, right? Like, I would just stay. But I understand why he needed to go back to just double check to see if what he did actually was enough.
Yeah, but my point is that he could still go shake Naoto's hand and go back to the past.
Hopefully, right? But it really felt for at least in that scene that, and like I think we should just talk about that scene because it's a sweet scene. But it really felt like in that scene he was making the decision of like this is goodbye. Like I did it. I completed my mission, and then unless something else happens that I don't know about, this is goodbye. I am leaving back to my timeline.
Yeah, it was definitely finalizing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then the scene with
Normal.
Hina was really cute. She got the necklace.
Yeah. God, that was adorable. And then just like, now to show up, like, why are you here? You fucking called me.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you thought Draken was gonna die.
Nope. I
I didn't think.
I knew it wasn't gonna happen. I felt it. I'm like, is this show pulling? In my notes, I'm like, damn, is this show pulling a fast one on us, or is Draken actually gonna die? Except now, after all of this. But something about the tone of the show, I was like, no, no, this is a red herring. No, no, this is a fake out. He's not gonna die.
I think during the entire time, I really knew that he wasn't gonna die, but I don't know. The entire time he was in the operation room, I was kind of prepared for that not to be the outcome as well. I was
Until
left uncertain that entire time.
until Mikey showed up and gave his speech, I was convinced he was gonna die. But then Mikey did the shonen speech, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is setting up that he's gonna live.
I love that they showed Mikey. They showed that Mikey was actually just as scared as everyone else, but he was not allowed to show weakness.
Oh, so fucking good! Just him breaking down, just crying over his best friend almost fucking dying. And then just the subtle motions of him gifting him his jacket he made. Like his jacket when he made Toman as well.
You guys saw what's written on the jacket, right?
Oh, yeah.
First Commander.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, the scene with Mikey was good. I will give the show. I'm not sitting here being like, nah man, I fucking knew Draken wasn't gonna die. The show did a good job of making me question whether or not it was gonna happen. I felt confident that it wasn't because I was just getting the sense that it like no, not because no, the show isn't gonna do it, but because of like it just when you're watching an anime and you're like I was with Rum, I'm like, they're gonna kill Rum. Something terrible is gonna happen to Rum in the next episode or two. The show didn't feel like it was going to kill Draken, but it did do a good job at making it feel like it might happen.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, moving away from the serious stuff a bit, I do want to say that I think this episode also had the first time like one of the unserious moments of the show's jokes actually landed well for me. When Takemichi was just dressed up like the most major fuckboy and having a big head.
Outlaw.
Fucking great!
Fucking outlaw written on the crotch.
I found it comedic, but it didn't make me laugh.
I didn't find it. Yeah, I'm with Meep. I didn't laugh at that. I looked at it. I'm like, you fucking dumbass. I did chuckle.
It sure as fuck made me chuckle and smile like an idiot.
I did chuckle that everyone around him, except even his friends, were just like, dude, you're so uncool right now.
Came into Draken, he's like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Draken, Mikey, his whole crew, everyone is just like fucking magenta outlaw pants with fucking this peak.
Just the extreme depressive state, but I'm just like, no one's looked up to me, let me have this!
And then fucking Draken's like, you're really gonna yell something that sad out loud?
Yeah.
And it makes me laugh harder reminiscing about it.
I also like that Draken probably would have would probably have bended forward more, but it probably would have opened up his fucking gut wound.
Oh yeah, no, just him standing up, just like,
Bowed. There we go. He probably would have bowed more. He would have probably bowed deeper, but he probably couldn't have bowed deeper than that at the moment.
I mean, it still holds the significance of what a bow means in Japan, because if you bow deeper than someone, that means you show respect for them, and consider them greater, or at least the actions they have done deserving of that bow greater than whatever you could have produced.
We've seen Draken bow deeply, remember? To the parents of Pa's girlfriend?
Yeah, yeah, but that's also different because that's the him taking responsibility and showing that he truly feels sorry for what happened. It's just the fact that he gives Takemichi that is telling from where he is this thankful about what Takemichi did for him, as he is sorry for violent the violent thrashing and rape of a parent's daughter.
Yeah, fair. I still think he would have bowed lower.
Yeah, no, I think he would have bowed just as low as he did for those parents if he could.
Yeah.
I was ready for Takemichi to spill the beans to
Mikey?
to Mikey.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Mikey's like, it's almost like you're a time traveler.
Well, he didn't actually say that. He's just like,
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
okay.
he's like,
No, he just said
I'm
like,
remembering wrong. Then.
yeah,
no,
no.
he's just you knew before anyone else did, and you worked to stop it. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Oh,
It was
that's what he
like,
said.
I have a lot to think about. Tolman is being targeted. Someone is trying to fucking destroy us and from the inside and build distrust and inception. Whatever, like, you know what I mean. And also, and Draken almost died, and I almost lost my best friend. And you knew about that before anyone else. Who the fuck are you?
Okay, maybe it's the place I watched it, but I swear he said it's almost like you're a time traveler. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong. Maybe my brain is just going, nah, that's basically what he said. But
Yeah.
You are remembering that wrong. It's kind of hinted at, but that's not the fucking conclusion anyone would jump to. It's just like, where did you find out about this?
Exactly.
You have your fingers in the enemy gang as well? Like,
That's
are you some fucking double agent bullshit?
Yep, that's what I thought.
Fuck?
That's what I figured Mikey was leading to. Where it's just like, are you a fuck? Are you like, are you a rat? Are you like, what's happening? Because that's the logical conclusion for like a gangster or even a delinquent like Mikey. But then I think he remembered that like Takamichi, while sus, never actually acted, behaved, or did anything that wasn't in the best interest of Toman and Mikey and Draken. So I think Mikey does wholeheartedly trust Takamichi, but he's starting to notice Takamichi's behavior and how strange that is.
Takamichi's hand just wipes the sweat off of his brow. I'm convinced his time travel is a stand at this point in time. You can't convince me otherwise.
Ah, yes, everything is JoJo now that you're beginning to watch JoJo memes.
Yep.
Listen,
You're falling into the hole.
anything that can't be explained from now on, I just accept that the story is being told from the standpoint of a non-stand user.
Takamichi sus.
So yeah, someone just said that. I was just gonna make it's just I've seen those memes all around a lot. Just the fucking Amogus meme.
Oh, the Amogus.
But I was just imagining Mikey just crossed arms on the fucking vent. Takomogus.
Takomogus.
You make me giggle like a fucking idiot.
Imposter Michi.
Sasamichi.
Amogamichi.
Also, Akun got to keep his promise to Takamichi.
Yeah, that scene was so fucking cute.
And he looks a lot better. He doesn't look like a skinhead fuckboy anymore.
He doesn't look like Slim Shady, yes. I mean, Slim Shady wasn't a skinhead. He didn't look like fucking Marshall Eminem. In like when Eminem was heavily in drug use.
Although, question.
Sup?
I thought when Takamichi goes back in time, he's basically comatose, isn't he?
Oh,
No, he's right.
He was before, I guess, but I suppose it's different. Or maybe it's just the now that kept him comatose.
Oh.
Because I mean, the Takemichi in the past acts like he would, kind of with that personality and the experience that built up there without the time travel knowledge. So I mean, I guess it works for the future as well, considering what happened.
Well, there is
I
something
I'm,
weird about the timeline, right? Takamichi doesn't have Akun's or Naoto's number saved on his phone, which, by the way that the timeline would have progressed and altered, he would have, the way people are treating him.
I think he had Akum's number on his phone. I think
he
he only,
did, yeah.
I think he only didn't have Naoto's. And
Although
Naoto's would make sense because I mean he's just a police officer in this timeline he hasn't really had any contact with.
he doesn't have Mikey or Draken, but Naoto has his number. I'm going to assume that in this timeline, Mikey and Draken either had a falling out or just lost contact with Takamichi after a while.
I mean, I think considering Takamichi is working a part-time job, he's not in the gang life, so they wouldn't have a reason to, associate with him closely anymore.
I mean, it's my guess of what's gonna happen is that like Hina is alright. I think they're gonna start dating again, but looking at the timeline, they're gonna see that either Mikey died or something bad happened, and we're gonna see the timeline start altering where now that his loved ones are secure, his new loved ones, not replacing the old loved ones, but the new loved ones of Mikey and Draken are now the ones who are going to be in danger. And Takamichi is going to choose to go back in time, and this is when we're going to start seeing him become a commander of Toman.
Yeah.
Because the whole Hanma thing of just like Mark, because Hanma's friend, co-worker, peer.
Lover?
No, I highly doubt it. But like, his fellow, his companion, compatriot, fucking swole ass motherfucker that would give Mr. Zangief, grappler character of Toman a run for his money. They're like, mark my words, Mikey. Toman's days are numbered. Where Valhalla is going to crush you and everything in its way. Um,
Also, more fucking people stealing my heritage.
people stealing what?
Motherfuckers. They're stealing my heritage, Dalaran.
I
Getting away with this!
didn't even fucking think about that in the moment, but yeah. How did you feel about their pronunciation of Valhalla?
It's not that difficult. It's Valhalla.
Well, you know that L isn't part of the native Japanese language, right?
Well, it's still Valhalla then.
Valhalla. We gotta say like a degenerate.
Valhalla.
A stand. My stand.
I know that would be the fucking stand name for
I can't wait until we get to JoJo's Part 9 and we get the stand Korpeklani.
I mean, there's probably a song called Valhalla, so.
Speaking of JoJo's, as far as the Comatose thing goes, I'm going to chalk it up to the mangaka going, you know what, this is a more interesting idea. I'll drop that.
Yeah, no, that's probably all. That's probably fair enough, actually.
They would not be the first. And certainly not the last.
Glares at Ariaki.
Yeah, but it is a
Araki.
convenient excuse that maybe just Naoto kept him comatose to not have him running around acting all weird.
Yeah. I think it's a little weird. We'll get to that in cards. I want to go back to the Hina thing. We got the necklace, boys. I feel like you guys didn't react enough to that.
Yes, that's such a fucking good thing.
Is the necklace? Where was the necklace from?
The ending.
It's from the ending. It's been the main focus part of the entire ending so far.
Oh right. Okay. I forgot
Becca.
about that. Aw.
Becca.
I watched through the ending like once, but yeah, no, I liked the ending, and then I skipped it another time. Well, no, I liked the ending. It's just I haven't seen it since episode like 2.
Yeah, which means you probably didn't like it that much.
So to be clear,
well, no, I rarely listen through endings more than once. Like the only time I listen to Nine from Shadow's House is when I'm in the car. I don't watch through it on the episodes anymore.
I'm just jamming out to the ending of most of these anime because they have some pretty good fucking endings.
Yeah, the Shadow House one's pretty good. So is this one. The ending here is very good. I sometimes catch myself going.
I no, yeah. Now that it has vocals, I really like the ending to Vivy, but the visuals I can take or leave.
Yeah, the visuals are yeah. But so Naoto seems to be conscious of the different timelines. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be aware of it.
But he does not go back in time? Oh, right.
Yeah, that might just be because he is the focal point to which he transfers over with, or I'm not sure why. I mean, he seems to have retained his memory of the previous past before.
Because I
And
think it was something about how like because Takamichi told him about the future, it kind of awakened his like time stream consciousness. Time travel is
maybe,
weird to do, folks.
yeah, maybe something like that. But first time he came back and was like, yeah, well, the second in command wasn't Draken or whatever. It's just like, well, I just looked up that. Oh, he's dead and everything. What the fuck? And when he's changed things, it's like, oh, he really did change something, and he was just confused about it because he remembered it happening differently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
at some point, something might just have changed. It's just like got a call from Hina. It's like, you're alive.
Oh my god. He can never tell Hina about the time traveling if that's how this works, because imagine every time Takamichi claps them cheeks, he goes back to his children's. Imagine you're having sex with your loving, amazing wife, and then boom, middle schooler.
What the
Oh
fuck?
fuck! That might be the best joke of the entire season.
But what about every time he claps Naoto's cheeks?
Naomi, bad.
What if he claps both of them? Boogie woogie!
No, no, I don't need incest in my fucking Tokyo Revengers.
What is this if he's fucking them both?
Oh, I'm glad that landed for you guys. But yeah, no, like if that is how that functions, that's gonna limit his abilities a lot. And I think this is I, let's see, is there anything else we have to talk about after that, or are we good for cards?
I was just gonna make this joke. No, you don't understand. Naoto has bites the dust. That's why he's conscious of the other timelines.
Honestly, I could kind of see Naoto becoming Kiryu Yoshikage. But enough about your newfound JoJo obsession. Welcome to the club. Um, has a fucking little dick shit.
Another day, another narrow escape for Draken. I mean, what?
Do you guys agree or no?
Eh, Pet and Paw, I really don't care for it. My feelings towards them are not of anger or joy. It's just they exist. I'm they don't take away from the show for me. They're kind of like Toke for me. They exist. They don't take away from the show for me, so I just kind of don't care about them in the end.
I was gonna argue
More
it.
fleshed out than Toke. Huh?
They are more fleshed out than Toke. It's true. Well, no, they're more fleshed out than
No.
Toke, but they're slightly less fleshed out than Toke Boy.
What about Yui? Are they more fleshed out than Yui?
Oh hell no, Yui's more fleshed out than most of the characters. Anyway,
What do you mean? Love AI. That's just a.
I don't know. That's
That's decent one
enough
now.
about Vivy, her speech
Yeah.
in episode 12 is good.
Pez,
Yeah, fucking
Pez's character trait is that he loves his friend. That's
yeah,
it.
Peyes. I kind of want to see him get his. I either want to see him grovel before Draken because he really fucked up, or I kind of want to see him get his shit stomped. I know I'm probably not gonna get that, and honestly, I'm okay with it. I really am okay with it, because the Mikey interaction with him was really strong.
Yeah, I doubt we're gonna see him getting shit stomped from either Mikey or Draken because Draken would hold him against him for being angry because he was angry and he did a lot of bad things because someone was whispering sweet lies into his ear about what he should and should
Tell
not
me
do
lies,
with his
tell me
anger.
sweet little lies.
Yeah, and he acted on the person feeding him poison in his angered state to fight the people he loved. Because sure, his best friend was Pa, but Toman is his family,
Yeah.
and he cares for all of them. Really, he was just in a moment of frustration, and someone took advantage of that. I don't see him as a bad character. I see him as someone who was extremely confused in a
Misguided,
very
yeah.
traumatizing moment of his life,
Yeah, no, you're
and
right.
someone simply pushed him in that direction and set him off.
You know what? I'm changing my wants for Peh. In the next gang war, I want Peh to save Draken's life. I don't know if he needs to take a bullet or a knife for him, but I want Peh to like jump in and save Draken from what would be a really bad situation.
I kind of want him to just. Okay, for the sake of
Kind of want
comedy,
him to
I
just
kind of
go
want him.
away.
Well, I was gonna say, for the sake of comedy, I was gonna say I kind of want him to just die, so I don't have to see him again, because I don't care for him. Him and Pa, I really don't care for, but at the
Yeah,
same time, I don't want him to die. I just want him to stop being a part or like be background character, just because
I think
I just don't care about him or Pa really.
I think with the introduction of all the captains, he is absolutely going to be relegated to like a background character. However, if they had just shoved him into the background, then we would be complaining that there was no closure or like real resolution between him and Draken or like Pez actions. His actions were addressed, and I look forward to I hope that there will be how do I put what the fuck? What am I trying to say? I hope that something will come of this later down the line. But if not, this was adequate.
Yeah, I doubt Pear's gonna have much focus on him now. The entire focus was just the conflict that became when one of them was arrested, and the conflict
Yeah.
of the two sides of the gang thinking differently about what they should do. And when a decision was made, then most people went along with it, but he, being as close as he was to his friend, could not accept that. And it's just that I feel like he's not going to be focused anymore because his entire thing was really dealt with. But I do hope he has at least some talk with Draken, or that he has at least shows up sometime again. It probably won't be a lot though, and it probably shouldn't be a lot.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I have one last question
I'm
before we
happy.
go to cards. Unless me,
Oh,
was there something else you want to say on the matter? Sorry.
I'm happy Emma lived. I hope in the future it doesn't come up that she died.
I like Emma. Emma has progressively become a better character as her vulnerability and emotions have shown. Uh,
Oh yeah, I
but
really
here's
like
one
Emma.
question: how did Pet and Whitehair Lieutenant get there before Mikey?
They probably drove.
Mikey
Yeah, I
was
mean
barreling
the
down the fucking street.
well, yeah, sure, but the white-haired guy also has a motorcycle, and Mikey came afterwards, like a while afterwards, because he was still in the fight with the other guys.
Hanma.
Yeah,
Alright, fair enough. Are we ready for
and
cards?
like
Oh
the
yeah,
rest
go.
of Thomas evacuating before Mikey did, because Mikey was there at the end when the other guys drove off.
My head canon is that Mikey threw his bike at Hanma and it broke, so he had to run. Oh God!
In those sandals? Yeah, that would suck.
His fucking Zolder scraped his fucking inner toe with how he's been running with him already from what the
Oh
show showed.
yeah, that's right. When he was looking for oh, I forgot about that part. In the last episode, or in the episode before that, where yeah, in 2 episodes ago, when he caught up to Draken because he heard of like inner gang fighting, the infighting in the gang. You could see that his like inner toes were like all worn because he's been running around looking for them.
Mm.
And Arshad also makes a good point. It might have just been hard for him emotionally to actually enter the hospital.
Oh, that's really good. Like he had to gather himself.
Because not only did he need to prepare himself emotionally, he also needed to prepare his poker face to stay strong in front of everyone else there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Well, with that, I feel like it's a good time to lead into cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. I'm really intrigued to see where this goes. It's elevated a little bit from what I have more faith in it than I did last episode to keep this going. I just hope it doesn't go back to what it was a couple episodes ago, where it keeps pulling the rug out from under your feet, and teasing things. But I really I do have faith in it. I'm interested to see where it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna give it the fuck.
I don't need luck. I have faith.
With the previous or the not the previous, it was 2 episodes ago with how shit I felt it was. It really dipped hard, but considering the last 2 episodes we've had now, I realized that dip wasn't them falling to the ground. That was them preparing for one hell of a fucking uppercut. Because dear God, this show swing up and has just been knocking it out of the park for these last 2 episodes. I'm fucking this episode because, good God, it was just fucking great from start to finish.
While this isn't like becoming one of my top 10 shows, I really enjoyed this episode. I am obviously fucking this episode too. I This is such a strong wrap up to an arc. Like, and I didn't want the episode to end, but like I wasn't even like mad that it did, you know? Because it's just like, okay, yeah, no, we're moving on to the next part, but like, seeing Akun alive and living his dream, I kind of wish we stayed more in that scene. I'm really hoping we get more like, adult Akun in the future. He looks exactly like he did as a kid. Nothing has changed. Except he now has college boy vibes instead of high school boy vibes. Um, and um, I really want to see Hina, and I'm hoping we get an episode of us just getting to enjoy our victory, because with how bad 2 episodes ago was, we fucking earned it, and Takamichi earned it. He did. And I'm
Also,
oh
I just want to say something that you like refresh my memory of. Like 3 episodes ago, the fucking cliffhanger of Drakenora being stabbed left me going, "Oh fuck you, show."
yeah.
And the cliffhanger in this episode of Let's Go See My Sister had me going, "Let's fucking go!"
Ironically, that is exactly what I was gonna end on. My final notes are like, "Let's go!" I'm very intrigued in what the next leg of the adventure is going to be. Because we did it, boys. Let's go! But did we? We know something else is coming, and I'm ready for it. The thing that would kill this show for me is if Takamichi starts to regress.
Yeah, and although I am excited, I'm not going to say the name of it, but I have seen the name of the next arc, and I'm pretty
No, no
excited for it
tells.
just
No
based on its name
tells.
alone. I'm not going to spoil it. It came up in a conversation with I can't remember. I think it was Riff, but yeah, I know the name of the next arc. I'm not going to say it, but it does have me excited.
Wait, Takamichi can't regress. He just can't. Because how could you fuck up so badly if he starts regressing again? He's like, sure, several times he's told himself he's gonna do a change, but anyone who's struggled with self improvement, you tell yourself, I'm going to change a lot of times. But he finally got kicked in the ass properly and focused on changing himself and fucking did. So, having crossed that hurdle, he should fucking start improving and he should not move back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
the show can extend the drama, quote unquote.
either way, that is a trifecta for not Takamichi. That is a trifecta for Tokyo Revengers.
It's a trifecta for Takamichi, too. He came around.
Yeah, Takamichi Revengers.
Listen, I just can't wait to see adult Hina so I can finally say that she can be a waifu without feeling creepy.
Honestly, I really like Hina. It feels wrong to talk about her in that way because like it's like the Naruto fans who are like, please draw me with a waifu, and like they photoshopped Hinata next to him, and the response was like, how fucking dare you? That is Hinata Hugo, Naruto's wife, a loving wife and partner. I would never touch her. I feel the same
Well,
way about Hina and Takamichi.
let's move on to Shadow's House, episode 11. Kate frees Emiliko of brainwashing by forcing her to drink water.
By
while John
waterboarding
just
her.
beats- By forcing her to drink water, while John just beats the ever-loving shit out of Sean. Emiliko is abducted, so Kate enlists the help of the Shadows, and they all decide to fight Edward, even though they haven't cured Ricky or Lou of their brainwashing yet. They're totally not gonna double cross them.
No, of course
And
not.
we see Ryan and the lady who I forget the name of go to a village
Kitty,
and
Booba.
brainwash children offered to them.
Okay, you all have had your moments of doing this on this show. I'm going to take my moment. I fucking called it. They're people.
Yeah.
They are people. I have been calling them people for majority of our show, and it's because they are humans.
I mean, I think we all figured they were humans. I was just calling them dolls and like used words like destroy just by the narrative that they're called living.
No,
dolls.
it made me uncomfortable to call them dolls because I know they're people.
I also
So-
might have done it because it made you uncomfortable.
Fuck you.
Do you want to know a fun fact about the wrap up they're doing?
So what?
These last 3 episodes. Do you want to know a fun fact about them? It's nothing
Squints.
spoiler.
Squints at Meep in
It's
meta.
nothing spoiler. Because I saw a tweet from the mangaka. The mangaka is working with Cloverworks to do these last 3 episodes because this isn't manga content.
Oh,
So
But they're-
this
they're
is going to be
working
an
directly with the mangaka.
yeah. So this is going to be an anime only ending, but with input from the mangaka.
So you're saying they learned their lesson from Promised Neverland.
Yes.
Good.
So
Although, I'm not sure if by anime only ending this is going to be like, okay, there's no season 2, or if there will be a season 2.
we'll see how it goes. I'm all for anime original versions of mangas because I can go read the manga, but like I also like anime only endings and anime only storylines. But regardless, let's actually talk about what happened in the show. Yeah, Chat's right, and Meep and Chat is right. John quite literally beat the soot out of Sean.
Yeah, I fucking loved that scene because they're just fist fighting, and I'm like, you know what? This is so in line for the character.
Show of
The best
hands.
thing is just Kate just go like, no, we need to make it. No, we're gonna solve this like men.
Show
It
of
fucking works. The best thing is that it fucking works.
show of hands if you thought that it wasn't gonna work.
I for sure thought it wasn't gonna work. He was gonna knock her out, and then it's just like, all right, you need to feed him water. No, it just fucking works.
No, you was gonna
I
knock
thought-
him out, and then like you have to feed him water. Why didn't you say so? I tried. They're already married.
Oh my god. How do you think the other two humans are gonna get cured? Because when Louise got really close to Lou for a second, I thought she was gonna kiss the soot out of her.
Oh my god, fucking Meep.
No.
She
That
basically-
is, yeah. No, that was very fucking like grabbing her on like by the chin and everything. No, Dad, you can't say that wasn't fucking close to happening.
Macan, not you too.
And she put her soot in Lou. It was like this close
No.
away for being a kiss.
Lahar, not you too.
Fuck off. It's a fucking inch between the lips, and she essentially just spat in her mouth. For fuck's sake, Dal, how can you blame us for that?
What the fuck?
Like I thought they really were just gonna pull it. It's like I almost went, am I fucking right? and then it's like, no, see, I have complete control, and it's like
By
I
the
don't know how I
way,
feel about this.
Louise is scary.
Oh yeah, she is. I have no idea of a concept that Ricky would be freed, like in a personal sense, but I think Luis is very simple. Considering how much adoration that Luis had and how physical altercations and just constant bickering John and Sean kind of had in a very loving way, I think Luis might just grab her by the cheeks and just go, abandon the grandfather, and that will fucking work.
I there's a part of me that expects Louise, once she learns how it functions, to just be like, "Oh, no, Lou stays this way because it's perfect.
Yeah,
She is the perfect doll for me now."
yeah, it's either that
However,
or it's just like, yeah, it is
however,
one or two.
on the other hand, how petty Louise is, like how much of a petty little bitch she is about how like, well, I don't really like any of you and I don't care about any of you, but I really don't like Edward. So since you're going against Edward, I'll go with you guys to fuck over that guy. Where does he get off in his gaudy little suit to like tell me what I can and can't do? And I'm like, oh shit. The idea that ultimately she's not the one controlling Lou, but grandfather is, I think that might be the breaking line.
Oh, that's probably fair enough.
Also, fucking Edward. He's he is a he's he's a fun antagonist. Dre- Dresses up like a woman. I gonna kidnap this girl real quick.
Didn't take off
Yeah.
his suit.
Definitely, but apart from that, when Emilika was just in her room meeting in the bed and then knocked and then just cut to the veiled doll outfit, I'm like, oh fuck, that's Rum!
Yeah, I was ready for that too.
Damn.
I'm glad it wasn't Rum, but I was ready for it to be. However,
It'd been so hard. It'd be so fucking heavy though if it's just Rum visiting Emilico just out of the fucking lingering feeling that she cares for her. That'd have been so fucking heavy!
My heart. My fucking heart. Speaking of Rum, did you guys catch the little snippet at the end there?
I'm sorry, what?
The soot, like the soot thing in the room with them.
The little
while they
baby
were having the
Shirley,
meeting.
the little baby Shirley shadow.
It had the bow! It had
Yeah.
the bow!
Little baby Shirley.
Ah!
Among Us.
I didn't even think about the fact that they had a fucking bow!
Yep, the little shadow had Shirley's little bow on it. So we're starting anew. Rum has hope.
No.
Also, speaking of feels, the like soot, almost like tar tears that Kate was crying. Like, I know Kate cares about Emilico, but and I know she always did, but in this episode in the beginning, it was really, really nice to see her putting this much active concern, and Kate, my heart, and like having basically fucking water, like, yes, Patrick's gonna waterboard Ricky. That's how he's gonna save his doll, his face.
I do want to point out, John was also crying.
Yeah. You're saying me?
One thing that I wasn't a fan of this episode was it felt like Kate knew a lot more than felt natural. Because before like in earlier episodes, she seemed really confused with a lot of stuff. And I guess it could have just been her acting, but even in scenes where she's alone, and then out of nowhere, it's like, yeah, no, I know there's many human villages, and they take children from those villages. And so you're going, okay, I hope they explain how she knows all this, and it's not just, well, she knew it the whole time.
I
hope
hear you.
they explain how.
I hear you. Okay, I agree. I do agree that they need to give us a how, because that one thing is not explained. However, I was not taken aback as much by that specific scene, specifically because Rum is incredibly intelligent and spatially intelligent, right? Kate is also really smart. She's really intelligent. However, she is clever. She is wise. She is perceptive. She, in a way, is cunning. Like, I think she put a lot of this stuff. The way I've taken everything is that she's been putting two and two together.
Yeah, I think she probably has some knowledge from otherwise, but I also think she has been putting on an act because even when she thinks people are not watching her, because at the same time she was consciously hiding her shadow powers from Edward.
Yeah, I it's not gonna like get kill or anything from me if it doesn't explain how she knew. It's just it'd be a bit unsatisfying because be like, but wait, how did you know this? Like, sure, putting two and two together, but how did you get the two and two to put together?
But yeah. Also, I do want to say this as well, Dal. You've been calling the people the entire time, but I do like they validated another thing that I've been saying, that the theory I had that they were humans, and that the living doll's not based on the shadows. The shadows are based on humans.
Yeah. I mean, it's in line with lore.
Yeah, that was validated a while back, but now this is basically full confirmation that humans, and
Yep.
the shadows are parasites.
The faces are humans, and the shadows are yeah. Well, they're shadow fae. They're literally shadow fae.
Yeah.
Skinwalkers, the lot of them.
I love that I've just been theorocrafting about this show, and I mean,
Yeah.
some of them haven't come to pass, but some of them fucking have, and it's not predictable because I'm making the theories, and I'm like, I have no fucking idea if this is really gonna be right, but it'd be cool if it was.
It'd be cool if it was.
Ryan, that extra motherfucker. What is his hairstyle when he's in his human form? What the fuck?
Ryan, yo,
double bitch.
Anyone else got like Edward Scissorhands vibes off of him?
Kinda, yeah, with like the really dark eye. I like
the hair.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Edward Scissorhands. If Edward Scissorhands was a miserable cunt, but you know.
I also like how we got a subtle explanation of why there's a more female dominant cast in the show. The lady goes, let's choose more girls," and then fucking Ryan goes, "We always choose more girls," and then they choose two girls and one guy. It's like, oh, okay, that's an interesting subtlety.
By the way, watching the babies, those poor children drink the coffee, the pudding pops, and them being so happy, like, oh, we're gonna get to send money back to our family, and like we're gonna get to live in the manor, and then they look up and their eyes are like grayed out, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I will say that scene would have been a lot more effective for me if they didn't show it at the start of the show. Like, granted, we didn't have context back then, but with last episode, we got the context. It was like, oh, okay. And we saw this happen again. It's like, I would have much rather had the clicking realization here, just being like, oh.
It might just be my doo-doo brain, but I've completely forgot that they did show that at the beginning.
I did completely forget it, but also, like, no, it was... I'm glad they showed it to us, because if they didn't, we would not have any... That was our lead. That was our lead-in. That's what we had to work with in the beginning. You know?
I guess it's just, I would have loved to have, like, if just being, like, having the last episode, stuff the copy happens, goes, okay, they're brainwashed, and then we see this happen to those kids this time, just being like, oh shit, because we realized last episode when they drank the coffee that, oh, that's the coffee from the beginning, that's how they got brainwashed in doing this. I just felt that would have been more effective if we had that realization in this episode.
Yeah, but also you have to remember that by knowing that, we've had these theories brewing in our minds the whole time already, right? Like, without that lead-in, we would, like, it set a tone for the show that we might not have followed if we had not, you know, really stuck to it. Like, if we didn't see that.
And I think it's...
I disagree.
I think it's far more effective last episode when we saw it happening to the characters we've been growing with and care about, instead of three random children.
No, I think Meep is saying that by using the three children to tie it back to our characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a formality and something that's kind of is basically confirming the fact that yes, this is what is happening. It's not just they're fed like mind washing coffee after the fact. No, this is from the beginning, and they're reassuring people who might not have caught on to that theory crafted as much as we have. Even though I fucking
There you
forgot
go.
that at the beginning.
Yeah. Also, mind washing coffee sounds like a real thing, and I don't like it.
There's intestine or not intestine, colon washing coffee.
Yeah. Come, come, refresh your mind, body, and soul with Grandpa's detoxing coffee blend.
I mean, coffee is basically mind washing because it's basically like, oh yeah, I'm always angry before I have my coffee, even though it really doesn't change anything. It just
I
makes you
mean,
less.
it's a chemical dependency.
Yeah, it's a fucking drug.
But yeah, enough shitting on coffee drinkers.
No, I'll keep shitting on coffee drinkers because I don't drink coffee. I'm superior than you.
So, so about the villagers, right? The village of the human peoples. They say like they emit enough soot in the coal mines to make them complacent, but really it just felt like poor people trying to make ends meet.
Yeah, I think like the way they explained it is so they aren't thinking straight. The soot is keeping them from thinking straight. I think it's just going along the lines of they are giving away their children and thinking, not having a second thought about it. I think that's what they mean.
I mean that happens in history too, in those times as well. Like our child has been chosen to serve the palace; they're going to live a more comfortable life. Maybe they will
Yeah,
be
I
able
mean,
to help us a little bit and send a little bit of their pay to us, so that we can also live a more comfortable life.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of that, but they're also being manipulated. But otherwise, they wouldn't say they're manipulating them.
Okay,
Because I
yeah.
mean, they're probably fucking with their heads a bit to make them willing to just give up their kids like over and over and over and again, and actually be like, "Wow, yeah, I'm so fucking good for you that your kid was paid." And it's like, yeah, I mean, sure, it's like, yeah, they're gonna have a better life. They live in a fucking castle now or mansion or shit. But at the same time, like, this entire village is complacent, and they are really happy with the Shadow Masters and everything. So yeah, and I think there's some manipulation on, but I think it's not shadow magic bullshit. It's just that they've convinced them this is the good thing, and it might just be that their physical and mental health might be lower because they work in fucking coal mines.
Yeah. Yeah.
That town's got to be bad for the ozone layer.
Absolutely. Also, I'm looking. I just read chat, and while you were talking, McCon. Were there people in the woods?
I think that's a joke that they just left the town. I know.
Are there people who left the town?
I mean, we haven't seen that. I think that's a joke. Like they're like, all right, well, if you're not in the town and being subservient, you just fucking left because we
Okay.
haven't seen anything about going into the woods or anything like that.
Yeah, because I don't remember the woods being mentioned.
Yeah, I was wondering where that came from.
Yeah.
But
Don't
yeah,
worry,
no.
we'll get the arc. We'll get the arc where they go into the woods and Emily who gets bit by a wolf and turns into a werewolf.
No, that's Wolf Walkers. That's a different movie.
I was right. They did make a joke.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
They were just kidding. I've been bamboozled.
I loved John beating the shit out of Sean. I just
We are going back to it again, but it's so fucking
I
good.
These guys are such shonen boys, and it's great.
I was waiting for John to be like, "Let's see if this knocks you out of it," and did an explosion thing.
I was ready for
Fucking kills him.
Oh my god. I was ready for Sean to just be like, fucking real men communicate through their fists. Like that fucking Domon Kashu G Gundam speech.
Upset with your son? Don't upset with your son. Don't have a conversation with him. Beat the shit out of him.
Oh
Amen.
no.
I love how John realizes it after, like, Kate mentions, like, haven't you noticed he's been different? Wait a minute. Sean, why are you wearing glasses?
He's
I just want to point out we need the invincible meme, but with John and Sean.
Oh god.
Come back to who you are, Sean. Think, Sean. Think.
Oh, god damn it. Are we ready for cards, you fucks?
I am.
Who wants to go first?
I will go first. So I'm usually the guy that goes poo-poo. Anime original stuff, anime original endings are normally bad because in a lot of cases they are. This one is doing it right. It is a right move to work with the mangaka when you're doing an anime original ending. Like if you're not sure you're gonna get a second season and you have to do one, just work with the mangaka on it. Don't they they know the vision of their show better than your studio does. I promise that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I like where it's going. I'm excited to see more. I'm wondering if the two dolls that are still brainwashed are going to be like, oh, you're going against Edward and the grandfather? Well, that's not what Shadows should do, and then just shank them or something.
Yeah, pulls out a fucking knife.
Ricky, where did you get that gun from? From Grandpa's closet.
Ricky just pumps a shotgun.
Do you think the Shadows family has like one of those old people hunting rifles? It's like super decorated, like
a fucking elephant gun.
yeah. That's how they beat Grandpa. They have to find the elephant gun.
Anyway, if you're going with
I
this
mean-
synopsis before giving your
I mean,
rating,
I'm gonna fuck the show. Grandpa's so fat you need an elephant gun to kill him.
My
Fucking the show.
God. I too am going to fuck this episode of Shadow House. While the God fucking damn it, you two. While the resolution of Grandpa's soot inside of Emilico and the rest of them didn't occur in the way that I fucking thought it would, I am still extremely interested on need to yawn. I'm still extremely interested in seeing how the rest of them fucking handle their situation, because the show's interesting. Me pretty much already said what I like about the show. For the first time in my life, I am at a loss of words. I don't know what to say, for it has all been said. I'm fucking this episode. The show is great. I'm really enjoying it. I am rooting for the crew. Excited to see how each different character's personality comes out and how their characters will develop further with interacting each other. And I'm here for the plot, the mystery, the intrigue, and I'm also here for little baby Shirley and getting run back. Fucking this episode.
like you said, you're a lost word because everything seems to have been said already. Someone do this like an IGN review. The deep emotional connection between Emilico and Kate is very shocking and very touching as they get together, and the deep-hearted and emotional fistfight between Sean and John, bringing them closer together than they ever were, is very touching. All in all, the show has a little something for everyone. I rated it 60 out of 9, and it has just enough water. I'm fucking the show.
Just enough water. You fuck. Why do you want to hurt me like this?
How could I not quote that fucked IGN review with this?
Oh, and I didn't know about that. I thought you were like actively referencing Kate's waterboarding. Emilico's waterboarding.
There's like 2 IGN reviews. One's just like not enough water, and then just enough water.
For a Pokemon game?
I have no fucking clue what review it is. I just know it's a meme.
Alright. So, boys, that's a trifecta for Shadow's House.
For Shadow's House, yes. And next week will be the finale of Super Cub. After that, the finale of Shadow's House. And I don't know if Tokyo Revengers is going to be taking a week break, but...
The Finn. the of Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah, I still don't have the episode count listed on Mal, even though the studio said it's 24. So,
Fuck it.
and I am probably gonna start thinking about my personal awards soon too, since we're getting close to that time. Alas, my wanting, I'm pretty sure me wanting to nominate Vivy for best finale is gonna get shut down when we talk about awards. But you know what? Fair enough. Listen, I don't know if it's gonna be the best, but I like it as a finale.
That's fair, man. That's fair. You're allowed to like what you like unless it's like Koikimo or Revenge of a Healer or
Yeah, I still have about.
I'm
I still
trying
have
to
about.
remember the name of the other shit show this season, but I don't remember it. Oh, this
Full
is
Full Dive, 7 Nights, Dragon House Hunting.
Hey, fuck you. Full 7 Nights is
Dude.
not shit. It just isn't that great.
Solid 4 out of 10.
Fuck you. Fuck, I was talking about Full Dive. This game is shittier than real life.
Hey, I dropped it after another episode. Well, like with Tokyo Revengers, it was just too up and down for me.
Yeah, well.
Well, at least Tokyo Revengers got 2 episodes in a row that I liked before it went, okay, let's go down again.
Reina made it up for Reina had me going up for it, but then Makan pointing out her shitty personality and character and just how not good of a human being she is made me go down. So yeah, show dead.
Yeah, whenever I think, man, best antagonist is going to be a bit barren, I keep thinking, wait, no, Riona is actually an antagonist, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because listen, I'm not gonna nominate.
Pick for the best antagonist when we get there.
Yeah, because listen, I'm not gonna nominate the archive. Its strength is in its strength and is in its concept for me. That's about it.
Anyway, boys, shall we wrap up for the day?
Sure. Do you want to do a graveyard tour this week, or?
Zombieland Saga continues to be good, and Spider is Spider so fucking what is surprisingly fucking engaging.
Yeah.
Read the manga, said it's better.
Moriarty the Patriot is getting its final episode next week. I just watched its semi-final this week, and it was really good. There is some shit going down.
I should watch it this week, and we should do an episode on it next week, Meep.
Sure. I've also been keeping up with Nomad. It has also been really good, although it's had a few moments where it's like, wait, is this supposed to be this? Like, am I supposed to connect these 2 dots or no? Like, Nomad has been weird. I really like it, but at the same time, I don't think I enjoyed as much as I did the first season of Megalobox.
Megalobox.
I don't know.
I haven't been watching shit because I've got too consumed in video games because I found a new one that I really like. I should probably take like 50 minutes to finish those last 2 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I have them.
You probably should as well.
Yeah, you can't stop on like those last 2 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen are fucking phenomenal. Also, I've watched the first episode of Loki. Not what I was expecting at all, but I am surprisingly really into it.
I mean, Dal, you say you can't stop right at the finish line. I've done that with quite a few shows that I really enjoy.
No, I'm telling you that because Jujutsu Kaisen's finale is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be perfectly solid. I have Jujutsu Kaisen ranked at 10 out of 10, and right underneath it is a show that I have 2 episodes left as well that I also ranked 10 out of 10.
Son of a bitch. Well, you know what? Let's keep you from your committal issues and tell us where they can find you, Makan.
Like I said before, if you want to have radio silence for about 2 weeks and then be flooded with 50 to 100 posts of possums in the span of an hour, you can find me at @that_Viking on Twitter, or you can come to Sweden and bring your possums to me, and I'll become the possum lord. Latch them onto my shirt. Make me a possum mother. Come on.
I wish to be the brood mother.
Be the possum ball.
How about you, Meep? Where can they find you? Are you a fan of possums?
I'm more of a skunk guy myself, but I like possums.
And where can they find you and your skunks?
You can find me at soul_king777. Don't follow me if you're a minor, because you will see boobies and butts and probably some other things, like maybe some pee-pee at some point. Who knows?
Boobs and butts and boobs and butts and boobs and butts and boobs and butts.
Listen, girls are cute, and you can't stop me.
It's true. It's true. Girls are in fact cute, and I probably cannot stop you. And as always, guys,
I can. I just need a boat.
A longboat?
You can't stop me. You can't stop me from trying to find Vivy NSFW on Twitter. You can't stop me.
I can, physically. I just need to go build another boat.
And I, as always, have been Dalaran Quest. You can catch me on Twitch, which, hi everyone watching now, as well as anyone who's watching me on YouTube, as well as Twitter at DALARON Quest. That's DALARON Quest. Dalaran Quest. And personally, out of the trash animals, I'm a raccoon guy.
Yes, the Trinity.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity. The possum, the skunk, and the holy raccoon. Huh?
It's the unholy Trinity, if we're perfectly honest.
I love those little trash pandas with their little paws and how they carry shit. They're such goofy animals.
I love raccoons as well. Not too hot on the skunks, but they're alright.
Skunks are cute until, they skunk you.
Yeah, I mean, raccoons will scratch you the fuck up. Possums will just scream at you. They're too afraid to actually bite you.
And as such, we have found each other's spirit animals. Catch you guys next week for more FMK Anime.
No.
Catch us for the finale of, you said, Super Cup?
Yep, Super Cub.
Right on. Right on with the ride on.
By the way, we are also figuring out what's happening with summer. Do we want to talk about what we mentioned behind the scenes the other week, or
Not really, because it's all up in the air yet.
Let's give it another week, because there's no confirmation yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all up in the air, so we don't really have anything to talk about until it kind of becomes a little bit more realistic.
Sure thing.
Cool, yeah. Alright, guys, we'll catch you guys next week, on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the next episode of FMK Anime. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Bye!
Bye, everyone! Thanks for stopping